The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stunner! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this White Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. This program starts now.
Football!
It's wonderful, and obviously there's a lot to talk about in the NFL world. There's also potential news coming out of the college football world today. At least that's what the insiders are saying. Now, who knows more about the entire situation? Who has the right inside track? Pac-Man Jones made an announcement for his alma mater's West Virginia head coach last night. Obviously, that got the world buzzing.
Yeah.
Because Adam Pac-Man Jones, beloved back at West Virginia, potentially could be plugged into the right people who maybe are in the say and in the know of knowing who's going to be the head coach. Everybody else that basically is talking around and says that decision hasn't been made yet. But I think, I'd like to echo the sentiment of Adam Pac-Man Jones. If that decision was made, I think a lot of us would be pumped. Now, there is certainly a lot to weigh for Wren Baker, who's the athletic director for the West Virginia University Mountaineers. Okay? He is an athletic director who's 45, 46 years old. He's a guy who was previously at
North
Texas down there. He came into West Virginia, had to make a lot of hard decisions, had to make a lot of big decisions. Obviously, Coach Huggy Bear, who has been beloved there, but obviously whenever things started happening, like right after each other, he had to make a decision for the team that wasn't necessarily popular amongst a lot of people. But now with the new coach that we have and the future of that basketball team, we all assume that West Virginia Hoops is going to be good again. And if they win, obviously that's the right decision. Soccer teams, he's had to make decisions, they win. Baseball team, he's had to make, they win.
Yep.
Rifle team, obviously, they win. If he gets the football hire right and they win, this guy's going to be talked about as one of the greatest athletic directors in the country. Now, how long will he remain at West Virginia after making that right decision? Maybe he'll be able to call West Virginia home forever because we'll all invest so much in sports that are associated with West Virginia that it'll become a job that you don't want to leave and maybe experience warm weather all year round.
Sure.
But nonetheless, I have faith in Wren Baker. I have respect for Wren Baker. And I think Wren Baker has done his due diligence for this West Virginia job. Now, I think there was a total of like 15 people that got interviews. Once again, this is not me, diving in. This is me just listening to Pete Thamels of the world and other college football sources and everything like that. Then I think a couple got whittled down into some in-person interviews. Maybe those interviews did not happen in West Virginia. Those interviews happened at the places in which the people who got interviewed were at. And then I think those people were told 24 hours, probably have an answer. That would land us to today.
Wow.
So I believe there is a chance that we find out who's going to be the next head coach for the West Virginia University Mountaineers. And I want to let whoever it is know, I'm with you. Let's fucking go.
Good.
I think.
Yeah. TBD.
Talks the table is here, because some name could pop out of nowhere.
You never know.
What are we doing, right? How do we do that? Gonna have to show me. Gonna have to show me. But I will always be a West Virginia supporter. But there is an opportunity here to obviously get good quick, especially with the way the transfer portal is. I think there is going to be an older coach, although I've heard that there is a very young coach that would be looking for his first head coaching opportunity still in the mix as well. And that particular name that I heard would be pumped to see how they would do as a head coach at this place. But if it is an older coach that gets a job and, gets an opportunity now in a P4 program in the Big 12 with a great brand in the current state of college football, Curt Cignetti went over to Indiana, okay? These guys who have been coaching a long time and are older, They know ball.
Yes, they do.
Okay? If you don't have these jobs for as long as you have them. You don't stick around for as long as you have them. This is a meritocracy, especially at the coaching ranks. You either win or you get the hell out of here. That's kind of how football is. It always has been. So these guys that have been around a long time, especially with the way Kurt Cignetti just did his thing at IU, and he wasn't taking guys that Alabama was looking for, or Georgia was looking for, or Texas was looking for, or Oregon was looking for. He found his guys, he found his crew, and now they're in the 12-team playoff when for the last 50 years, IU football was nothing. West Virginia at least has a brand. We've been there before. We have success stories throughout it. Whoever gets in there is sitting in a very good opportunity. And if big money guy wants to get involved, that'll certainly help out a lot of things.
Yeah, never bad.
So whenever I said Iowa State and Arizona State, enjoy this. West Virginia's coming. I think you're about to get some news here in the next 24 hours that's going to make you all go, he was telling the truth.
Uh-oh.
West Virginia's on its way, and I think big news is coming. Now, NFL news is happening around us as well. I'm incredibly pumped that this Hard Knocks is doing the AFC North. Now, it's not just me. Obviously, it lives and dies with ball. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. AFC North, special place you're learning about a little bit, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you always think with the NFC North at least that, like, oh, it's kind of similar in terms of, like, the cold weather and everything like that. But Hard Knocks, when they do it in season, when it's not just, like, all these stories that in the end we don't really care about. It's guys who are barely going to be able to make the team. Like seeing Tomlin talk with guys who are going to be like have crucial points in winning games on Sundays every single week, and these other coaches too. Like it's just incredible. It like you said, like you know, I think everyone kind of has an idea of what goes on in these buildings, especially with social media now. But then you watch this and you really do get like when are you ever going to be able to see inside the Steelers building? Like Tomlin doesn't seem like the like he's not always looking for a camera and giving one of those like candy ass interviews or whatever. Like what we're seeing with them every single week, like it really is like you got to cherish it and appreciate it, because I don't know how many more opportunities we're going to be able to see like an unfiltered look like this with these teams. It just doesn't happen often.
Yeah, we have no idea if the offseason Hard Knocks is going to happen again with what happened with the Giants.
Right.
We have no idea if anybody's going to be okay with it. We have no idea if in division Hard Knocks is going to be good going forward, if everybody is going to be okay with it. But what we're seeing is majestic. And it's not just, I mean, the Steelers are definitely
They steal the show, right? It's not just them.
Steelers steal the show.
Exactly.
Okay, and Ravens are on a bye, so there wasn't much from them. And obviously the Steelers are currently leading the division and on their way playing better ball than they have in a long time. And they've won 2 now divisional games in Hard Knocks. So that is kind of their show.
At least has been so far.
Yeah, going forward. But it's been nice to see how, you know, Zach Taylor operates and the way he talks and the truthfulness in which he speaks to his team. Harbaugh obviously addressing things. And then Stefanski. I haven't minded watching Stefanski kind of do his thing. Because when you're on a team that doesn't have a chance, now how do you motivate? 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. Did you see that speech from Shelby Harris last night? If you didn't, here it is from the defensive meeting room. Might be front 7, I'm not 100% sure. Whenever a coach, D-line coach, looks around the room and says, all right, does anybody have anything to say to the rest of the group about how we finished the season when technically nothing is on the line? Is anything on the line? Myles Garrett and Shelby Harris give answers.
I'm just going to be honest with y'all. You know what it is. You know, when you get into part of the season like this, you're not just playing for this year, you're playing for next year. You're playing for your life in the league. You know, teams going to evaluate all this shit and look and see who you are. If they need to go draft somebody in your position, if they need to let you go and bring somebody else in, I'm just going to be, because it's just the honest truth about it. This is evaluation period. And this is not the time to let shit down. This is actually time to raise your play to show that you could be the guy, that you are the solution, not part of the problem. This is what they're looking at. This is just the God's honest truth. This is what they're looking at. Are you part of the solution, or are you part of the problem? This next couple weeks is truly just an audition. An audition to see who the fuck is going to be here. This is our NFL livelihoods.
And then he kind of just drifts away.
Yeah.
kind of, like cinematic there at the end, the way he delivered it, but it was a very real message.
Yeah.
I think Shelby OG was kind of looking around the room, letting people know, like, hey, it's not guaranteed that we have jobs next year. And that was kind of what he was laying out. Those welcome to the NFL, this is a business, not a sport anymore, moments are huge, I think.
Yeah, it was, you always get either from a coach or from an OG, hey, nobody's on scholarship anymore. Now, college is such a business now, it's a little bit different. I'm sure these guys, are a little more on point when it comes to that. But, yeah, when you get to this point in the season, you got 4 or 5 games left. We always joke about it. Hey, guys are planning off-season trips and shipping cars and doing all that shit. But that film is still being graded. Everything is still being evaluated. Are you still showing up early? Are you still getting extra lifts in? Are you still watching that extra film? People are watching. Those coaches, that group, we always said that group will never be the same. They'll be in different buildings. So, you're not only auditioning for that team if you're the problem with the solution for that team, but for the 31 other teams. So it's good when you have an OG like that in the meet room, really laying it out how it really is, because you can see some people somebody on a guaranteed contract, 2-3 more years, 30-40 million left, yeah, they can shut it down, go get a surgery, and they'll be good. But if you're not in that small, very select group, everybody else is kind of on that chopping block.
Be who you can afford to be, I think, is obviously the case. And I think that is why anybody comes out and says, they're tanking. It's like in football, I assume there are some people in buildings that are looking for their team to lose, hoping for their team to lose. Personnel groups, ownership groups, whenever it gets to a part of the season where, hey, there's nothing on the line except for maybe draft stock, and maybe there's a big guy coming in the next draft that'll change the trajectory of our entire team in building, in city. So, whenever we were losing, because Peyton had neck issue that none of us really knew about until training camp, walk into training camp, get summoned down to the training room, go into a back room. Peyton's got wires all out of his neck.
I found out in training camp?
That's what I found out.
Oh, shit.
That's why I found out it was going to be, bad. I knew there was something going on, but I walked in, saw that whole thing. He's getting things shocked or whatever. I'm like, holy, are we all right? Gonna be, And then I immediately thought, I said this before, I was not preparing to punt as much as I feel like we're about to punt. And then Kerry Collins gets called in, out of a tree stand, I think he was actually hunting. Then Curtis Painter.
Yep.
Then Dan Orlovsky, inevitably. Mm-hmm. And that whole year, everybody was like, they're sucking for luck. Suck for luck. Fans were even like, yeah.
Jersey's already sold.
Yeah, let's do that. I would just like to let everybody know that was the only season I've ever been around something like that. Everybody in that building did not want to suck. Everybody in that building wanted to do very good so they don't get fired and they don't lose their jobs. So much so the coaches were actually like, hey, our group needs to not be the reason.
Yeah.
Okay? Our group needs to not be the reason. So if we lose this game, it is not on my ass and it is not on yours as well. That is kind of a motivating factor. So to hear Shelby still say that in 2024, it's like, hey, everybody in this room could potentially be selling insurance next year. Okay, we need to remember that. You're getting an opportunity to play in football games. Just like the preseason is like a showcase for some people, but most people it's just a waste of time. It's like this is almost like this is an extended preseason for some of these guys.
Yep.
Getting real clips, real footage, real highlights, real lowlights. And then whenever you're talking about in meeting room and in the cafeteria and then training room, equipment manager, it's like, is this guy a real asshole or not? In the actual season, they're finding out. So I love Shelby Harris spreading that message, legitimately.
Burrow kind of said something along the same lines, too. I think in his post-game presser, we'll find out a lot about, the guys that are in this building with the rest of the season, with obviously playoffs not being, there.
Well, and that was one of Zach Taylor's kind of whole entire things when he was talking to the team earlier in the episode. He was like, hey, what I'm thinking about is the feeling in the locker room after a win. And we haven't had that in 4 months. That's what's motivated me all week. And then to your point about guys who might have bigger contracts, not kind of, being able to take it easy maybe. Stefanski showed a clip during one of the team meetings of the 4 or 3 of their highest paid linemen, probably players at this point, still playing. They're like, all these guys on Jameis's first pick 6 reached their top speeds. And that was another thing, they showed those guys, and I think Njoku dapped up Wyatt Teller during it. But a hilarious part was the Stefanski-Jameis sideline during the Broncos game of that cut up before he started slinging those pick 6s around the yard in Denver. It was awesome.
Yeah, Stefanski doing his coaching thing, which is what coaches are supposed to do. Hey, I don't know what we're doing on offense, but we're throwing for 400 yards today, so no matter what we choose to do, let's make sure the ball is in Five's hands. And then literally the next play, pick six.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like Stefanski. And then Jameis, obviously, that's when he prayed for the Lord to
deliver him from those pick sixes.
Deliver him from pick sixes, which
he did. He threw
picks, not sixes. And that's the way the good Lord works, mysterious ways in the entirety of it all. I've enjoyed this Hard Knocks a lot, though. But I also like the fact that people who are not in the business, which is why we say things whenever we hear about stuff happening in like a building. Like, hey, this isn't just forever. Now, for some of those guys, somehow it has,
True.
And they made a lot of money off of it all. And, there's some good players in that building, like Colts building. So whenever we hear stuff happening, it's like, this is stupid for you, and this is stupid for everybody to do it. Let's not waste it. Let's go ahead and get after it. And I enjoy that. George Pickens, his hamstring injury. I like to hear George Pickens on the sideline say, man, I want to be playing so bad. I like that. That was a good babyface move by that entire thing. Mike Tomlin coaching up Joey Porter Jr. after having 6 holding or pass interference calls on him the week before, just kind of breaking down like, hey, it's not going to happen as fast as you want it to. It's going to work. We don't change the way we play at all. And then just like walking away while Joey Porter Jr. is putting in his contacts. It's like, that's like great. That's how real coaching is too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, interaction, pump up, also acknowledge, hey, can't be having that happen, need to get better. It's like all those little things I think people are getting an inside look at. A man who was a player and a coach. I don't know if he was ever on Hard Knocks. Should have been. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipper. Hey, Q, you enjoying Hard Knocks? You watching it? Any nostalgia to get back in there and maybe coach or play?
No nostalgia whatsoever. I see it, and those guys are doing a great job. I hope they continue to do a great job. But my favorite thing is exactly what you just said. That's my favorite part of watching coaches coach is it's the walks in the hallways, right? It's during the stretching lines before it's like, hey, I can get my message across to you without embarrassing you, without doing this in a way that only you and I need to have, and then we keep it moving.
Yeah, and those little drive-bys or little messages or mantras are, that you said not being embarrassed in front of the crew. There's all those things that happen are acknowledged in front of everybody because they have to be. If they're not acknowledged in front of everybody, you can't acknowledge anybody in front of everybody.
From good coaches though. So I've been in some places where they wouldn't acknowledge like, a big time player, like a starting quarterback, highest paid corner, he gets beat for a touchdown, not giving effort or something like that. Like I've been some places where coach may not do that, and then other places everybody's kind of held to that same standard.
You would assume that we need to point out the obvious here. You would assume that we need to point out the obvious here, and it's like anytime I hit a shank, I knew everybody in the team was going to see that. Everybody was going to see it now. The whole crowd just reacted to it, and tomorrow everybody's going to see it, and it's going to be a can't have this, right? Yep. Yeah. Can't. Yeah. Fucking ruined my whole year, actually, that entire thing. But it's like you need it because everybody needs to know that you're acknowledging it. Yeah. But it is the one-on-one conversations.
It is.
The motivation, the lift up, the final thoughts. Like I'd be jogging on the field, Tom McMahon would be like, hey, remember, bang, and bang. It's like, oh, yeah, good reminder. It's like those little things that are real coaching. And that's why it takes so much effort.
100%. And exactly what you said, the reminders are huge too, because like something might have happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and like we say in the NFL, like everything lasts for a month, right? And so like they might run a blitz that somebody ran 3 weeks ago, and you're just about to run out in the field, and it's like, hey, just quick reminder, watch that TT, and it's like,
oh, that's good coaching. And then when it happens,
I got depleted by a TT 3 weeks ago. It's like, all right, better get my depth, get back. Right?
All right, we love Hard Knocks, we love the NFL, and we'll certainly get back to that conversation. But now we'd like to do a little bit of reporting, a little bit of journalism. As many of you recall, on November 24th, a superhero arose from a beautiful restaurant out into a parking lot, then into a CVS. And that superhero was actually the one responsible for taking down an alleged Irish gypsy family of anywhere between 6 and 20. But to really understand that particular superhero story and why it is one that should be sang from the highest of hills about this vigilante taking a crime family and syndicate literally into his own hands. You have to go back earlier in the day to really understand who these scumbags are. Let's go to the Raven Golf Club, November 24th, late afternoon. A slew of gentlemen that will be very familiar in these videos doesn't like whatever's being said to him. Boom! Punch to the face, up against the wall, throws a right hand. Now, not bad block there from Server. Don't know who Server is. I wish I would have learned. Hand up like that. Ate a right two from, and another from these scumbags. And, these This particular group here, obviously a bit boozed up. This is Raven Golf Club and have a bit of an anger issue, some disagreement, and they just started throwing hands, causing absolute chaos. That was at the Raven Golf Club. You would hope that just because of that incident, somebody would call the cops and say, hey, bunch of douchebag assholes are just started swinging on our servers here at the golf course. Well, this particular slew of scumbags couldn't let that be the only thing they did that day. Oh, no. They get kicked out of that place, obviously, and by kicked out, they get done swinging punches on random people, innocent victims, and they say, we need to go and do this somewhere else. So they pick a beautiful place in Scottsdale called Houston's. Now, this is an upscale bar, restaurant type place, and I believe the people that go there absolutely love it because what a spectacular place. AQ Shipley, you live out there in Arizona. You love Houston's.
Love Houston's.
Everybody loves Houston's.
Everybody loves Houston's.
Yeah, that would inevitably be the problem for this group of douchebags here. So what would happen at Houston's now, we got surveillance footage from the restaurant. The crew that you just saw on the golf course is now surrounding a general manager of Houston's and putting his finger in his face, and the general manager says, you guys got to be sitting somewhere to get served. And they start getting physical, and man, a superhero, an anonymous bystander at the restaurant says, what are you doing? You guys can't do this. Boom! Ooh. Drops one of them in the middle of the bar after getting swung on and saying, boys, you can't do this. 20 people would follow this one man out of Houston's. And shout out to the front door, which we would also get surveillance from. There would be full chaos. Speed it up. We got kids. We got babies coming out of here. Man will grab, get out of the way, get out of the way. Big slew of douchebags are fighting one guy. Shout out to the man holding the door. Biz still backing out. Green shirt, the man that was swinging in the golf club is the one leading the charge. Everybody else, I assume that guy's the boss there, kind of slowly walking out. General manager says, that's right, get on out of here. That would spill out of the front door into the parking lot in front of Houston's. The man who would have to retreat and back up and eyeball. Maybe these people will stop. I'm backing up, what, a quarter mile. Now there's a sweet lit up bike here. Awesome. Driving by, and obviously we assume the bike would be on the right side. But if you look on the top side, Biz is still backing up. This superhero is still backing up. This crew of douches is still chasing him through the parking lot. How many yards, how many miles are these douches willing to go to get revenge, even though the man was doing the right thing and they were the assholes? Something would inevitably happen over here. Maybe it was a big time shot. They would run. The hero would continue to retreat, sprint as they followed him. Finally, they'd get him on the ground, and these things would pounce like hyenas. They would start to attack the shirtless hero who has been battered and banged and kicked. 1 kick, 2 kicks, 3 kicks.
Gotta get up.
4 kicks.
Gotta get up.
5 kicks. Right to the face, right to the head, right to the chest. And our hero would escape, get into a CVS, which is right there, and the crew would not follow him inside. This is what the 911 call would sound like from the hero that we just watched save Houston's and inevitably save the city of Scottsdale and Phoenix from any more chaos.
There was a couple of people harassing employees, and I tried to get in the way, and they just all started throwing punches.
Okay.
And
were they punching you?
Oh, yeah. I had to run out of the restaurant.
So he was able to call the police. I assume many people in the restaurant were calling the police. I assume many people at the golf club were calling the police. And the police would catch up with these men. And they would interview them. And body cams would be running. Let's go to the red shirt, the asshole that was doing all the kicking. Here's him interacting with the cop as they find him at a country club nearby.
What happened up at Houston's with the rest of your friends?
I'm not sure. I don't know what you're talking about.
So you didn't get into a fight with a bunch of other people, so... Okay. So you don't know any of the other guys that are also from Texas staying at this hotel?
Sir, I can just tell you that I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let's start with this. Were you up at Houston's?
Sir, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you go to dinner tonight? That's a simple question. It's not.
You obviously weren't at the hotel because you just walked up. Where were you? Where were you coming from then?
I was at Cake.
You're at Cake.
Yeah.
What time did you get?
Cake is a dance club.
Yep, I know. What time did you get to Cake?
I have no idea.
So, I have no idea. This is Fancy Pants, red shirt. Obviously, we saw what he did. Let's go to another one of these dummies that was obtained. Footage was obtained by a police cam whenever they catch up. And listen to the descriptor of our hero in this story.
Who would you say the main aggressor was in this whole situation? Like, I'm trying to figure out, because I know you mentioned some dude with tattoos.
That guy with the fucking I don't know who's the aggressor inside. I would be a liar if I told you.
Okay.
But I'm letting you know that whenever you seen this guy, if you seen this guy and me fighting in a parking lot, you'd say, he's gonna beat the fuck out of him. He's got not a lick of fat on him. He's fucking shirtless. He got a giant tattoos, but like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. My uncle's 50 fucking year old.
Okay. Is he a white guy, black guy, Hispanic?
He's a Hispanic guy with black hair and a black beard. And he was pushing and shoving just as much as everybody else.
Okay.
But that's whenever I showed up. Now, it could have went.
Okay, this guy, he's a Latino man.
Huge.
Looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, said Latino. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Biznasty Biznasty.
Yeah, do you smell what a rock? He's a cookie. What a breakdown, Pat. That was incredible.
Well, I just had to catch everybody up to what was going on. And obviously, you were you always hope.
Hero's not the word. We're not going with the hero. Just any one of you guys in there would have done the exact same thing.
Okay, so we would
100%.
We would like to think so. And I assume there was people in that restaurant that would say, hey, if somebody was fighting somebody, I would step up and do it. Nobody helped. Okay, we watched that in that video. You were kind of all by yourself. Massive crowd was chasing you out of there. Can you take us into that bar, though? Houston's, great place, Houston's. Mm-hmm. So into Houston's, they were pushing the general manager. Was that the guy that comes running out afterwards? Is that who they were
so the guy who came running out afterwards, who gets pushed up against a car, was the assistant manager, who'd actually already removed the guy in the red shirt. That's what this video's not showing. It obviously shows where the altercation ends up taking place when I go over. But keep in mind, I know nothing about the thing that happened at the golf course an hour and a half earlier, right? I go to Houston's. I was by myself that night. Normally, I go with my buddy Joey Superstein, but I was there by myself. Normally, I sit in the bar area, but it was so busy that I didn't get a spot. So I go down to my spot, and when I was ordering just like a traditional salad like I always do. Do you want to hop in?
No, I want him to go back to the beginning so we can get you from the whole part whenever you're eating your salad there. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, but the thing is, though, is I don't think that Fox put that. They cut it out, right? So you don't even see the guy in the red shirt before this, because when they all came in, this guy in the red shirt was like screaming in the restaurant. So everybody's turning around, and when I'm ordering this salad, you could see the ladies, who's taking the order, the waitress, her jaw drops. And I'm like, what is going on over there? And I look, and then the assistant manager walks out, that Sean Daly kid, the guy who ends up kicking me in the head 3 times. He looked like you trying to hit a 50-yarder.
Dude, I saw the extension. I saw the extension on that guy. Yeah, he was swinging hard. He was swinging. Baby legs, ability to get that. But he was swinging hard there. That's foot to face, it looked like.
That's a boot F. I'm going to keep my language PG here for this whole segment. So,
right, that's very nice of you.
to go back to that, so that's what drew everybody's attention towards the bar area, and that's when the manager, who was still talking to the guys as the assistant walked out, the Sean Daly guy, was explaining to them, hey, like this, like you guys don't have a seat. You guys are obviously wasted. You need to you guys can't be here. And that's when the guy in the green, just like he looked like in the video when he was at the golf course, he started getting in his face and backing him up against that back bar on the right side, as you can see. So that was taking place for like 20 seconds, and the waitress had already left. And I kind of veer over to look even more, being like, am I seeing right? Is this guy like actually getting in his grill? So after it kept taking place, finally after about 45 seconds, I got up and walked over there, and the guy had his arm up again and was going towards the manager. He'd already had it in his face where the manager had to remove his arm. I go to eat at this place 4 or 5 times a week. I know these guys.
Family.
They wouldn't harm a fly. They're very cordial, and you could see that he's like shocked almost. And I'm looking around, and nobody's doing nothing. Like not one person's going over to like help this guy out. So I walk over after seeing this for 45 seconds, and I grab the guy's arm. I go, listen, buddy. I said, if you keep harassing and assaulting the staff here, I said, I'm going to bring you out in the parking lot. We're going to have problems. I said that. Like, I said that. Maybe that didn't de-escalate the situation, but listen, But I'd also seen enough of what this guy was doing. And if you go back to the video an hour and a half prior, like there's a certain way a guy stands when he's about to throw a punch.
Yeah.
Right? There's a certain way a guy's and in the midst of that 45 seconds, I'm like, he's just waiting for the manager to say the wrong thing and he's gonna drill this guy. So the minute I said that left my mouth. One of the other guys started swinging and they started coming at me, and then it was game on throughout the restaurant. We ended up probably brawling in the restaurant for about 30 seconds. I ended up getting pushed against that main bar. You can't really see it because we go out of frame. There's a statue there. I get my shirt ripped, and I'm just like, oh geez, it feels like there's 9-10 guys. I got to backpedal because I don't want to get caught, because if I get caught, they're going to keep kicking and punching me in the head. That's the type of guys these guys were. And obviously I was bang on by the time we ended up getting over to the CVS.
So Red was already kicked out. That guy was already kicked out. So he hops along.
So that was why when I came out the door, I knew that he was out there because I'd seen him, like I saw him get kicked out. So I'm like, well, I have to make sure I know where this guy is when I leave the door, because he might sucker me if I'm still facing the other guys. So I basically run to past him, past the covered tarp. And then I'm like, okay, there's 9 guys and they're not really backing off. Like they're all coming at me the entire time. At a certain point, there's a little bit of separation there, but that's where that other guy, the William Carroll guy, ends up pushing the assistant manager who's now outside, who's trying to break it up, and he chokes him up against the car. And he eventually comes back around right before you see this. They were all surrounding me on the the trees are all blocking it. And then William Carroll sprints past everyone to come at me, and that's where I get him with the right.
Okay.
You could bring up his mugshot. You could see exactly where I got it.
So that's why I want to run it again. Keep running the video there, because I have it actually right here. So I got this thing on Piero for you, Biz, because I did see, a lot of conversation about that. So here's the final spot here, right? You're sprinting, you're getting away.
That's when they're just like, they bull rush because I just knocked out their buddy who sprinted at me, and what do you want me to do? It's self-defense. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, so they get you on the ground there, okay? They get you on the ground there. This is not good. This is what they've been waiting for, though. They've been waiting for this Dwayne Johnson-looking son of a bitch to fall down.
That was insane.
So they can pounce. Look at this guy turning the corner coming around. Look at him coming around this. Hold on. Wait, we got him down? Let's kill this guy. Yeah, let's go kill this guy.
The guy in the red is that Sean Daly kid. I believe he's also the one who had the fake military ID so he can get discounts all over town that he was terrorizing, among with lying to the police officers about not even being involved in this. And the fact that we've gotten countless messages to a guy named Shay Stevens, who's done an unbelievable job online as a private detective, uncovering what these guys are actually about and how they scam everyday Americans, going door to door and basically just bringing up these fake companies and going around and robbing people, essentially.
So let's count about these kicks, though. Let's count these kicks, because it's insane. There's one, right? There's one.
That one got me good, boys. That one got me right in the noggin.
There's this. He tried to get you there. Good dodge. Look at that son of a.
That's the new For the Brand logo.
that leg is all the way up. That's 2. Okay, then obviously he missed with that. Well, he's going to get another shot on your side. 3, 4, miss, 5, right there to the head. So he tried to get you 5 times with a kick. But what is happening during all this, because you kind of get captivated by that, to go back to your point, look at these boys up in the top here now, okay? Look at these guys up here. There's 3 guys up here, okay? Look where they go directly to. They head back this way. Are those people with that group, or?
Yes, I believe there was a few guys there who were originally part of the Hyena Pack, but now they're going to aid to William Carroll and make sure everybody knows his name. And if you don't mind pulling up his mugshot, this guy he must have been on something else other than booze. He's the one on the bottom left. Now, the one on the bottom right there, Sean Daly, was the one who gave me the 5 high kicks, 3 of which landed, the one who had the fake military ID. The one up there, top left with the lime green collar, as you can see, Danny Bradley, he was the one who punched the people at the golf course, and he was the one that was getting in the manager's face at the Houstons. Like, this guy, I've said it on the podcast. I want the legal system to take care of these guys, but if they don't, I would gladly waive the civil suit if that Danny Bradley would meet me in a ring somewhere, and I would love to televise it for the American audience to view this guy get a licking that he deserves based on how he's treating people out in public.
Is that him in the green right there, Paladin?
That's him in the green.
Okay. So green and red
and
shirts.
by the way, I just want to take this time to thank like the police department and all the deputies and everybody who showed up very fast on the scene from the minute they were called at Houston's. I think the word was out there though because the incident was called in at the golf course, so they were aware of these guys around town. Apparently, they went to Roos Chris and other places where people have messaged that Shea Stevens being like, these guys were doing this all over town. Like it wasn't just the golf course and not just Houston's. And also, there's somebody who's operating that camera. So shout out to the police department who operates that to end up getting that on camera to prove what these guys are about. And, I just want to thank Houston's and, like I said, everybody who's on the right side of this. Now, I do want to mention that Sean Daly didn't show up in person to his court date. He did hire a big fancy lawyer in town. I got his name here, Larry Kazan, in which I guess his son goes to ASU, and his son shot a DM to Shea Stevens, the guy who's doing all this background work for us and uncovering who these people really are. And Ben's Kazan, Larry, the fancy lawyer's son, wrote him, "Eat a dick," and called him a Canadian pussy. So seems like Ben Kazan doesn't really want the legal system to play out. Him and his father seem to be okay with having people visit and act like this locally when, in fact, they live locally. So I must be losing my goddamn mind here at Larry Kazan's kid, thinking that he can send this to a guy who's trying to undercover who these dirtbags are to keep him out of Scottsdale. But it seems to be that they want him to walk free and be okay, and this can just slide at our local Houston's family restaurant.
Biz, I love the Houston family, and I appreciate the hell out of you. You're thanking everybody. I want to thank you for stepping up for people and going to bat against these scumbags and ultimately shining a light on something that's probably been happening in here for generations. I was following alongside Shea Stevens, but understand, no matter what that dude DMs or how those people feel, like, it's all there. Like, everything is there. It's all, you guys are going to win in the end, and they're going to look like dipshits, So DMs
apparently they're saying that I started the fight, but by going over and saying if you continue to harass and assault the staff, we're going to go out and then have problems. It's not necessarily an invite to then do it to me. But hey, if you want to go, you want to tango, I guess we will. And they came as a hyena pack. I needed one or two other guys there, and we would have been fine.
Well, that's what we have a couple friends that live out in the area.
Watt.
JJ, AQ could have showed up, obviously.
AQ, I met him at the Open last year. Great guy.
See, that's what we're talking about.
That's right, brother.
If this big head would have showed up at CVS that
just
night,
give me a call. I would have been there.
Dude, he's boxing in people's basements over there.
Yeah, waiting for something like that.
Yeah, he's dreaming of this type of moment, which kind of leads us to you, like, doing that in the moment, not a lot of thinking, right? Not a lot. You had no idea when you ordered your salad and you were waiting that you were about to get into what did you describe it as?
Well, Donnybrook.
A little bit of a Donnybrook, became a little bit of a runaway there. Mm-hmm. But you had no idea that was going to happen. You just saw somebody that you care about getting threatened by a group of mean and bad people. It didn't matter what or how it was going. You said, hey, you're not going to act like an asshole in public. And for you to handle that business the way you did, I want to let you know we all say thank you.
Thank you. Hell yeah, Biz.
Thank you, Biz.
Thank you, guys.
We need more of that, brother.
Thanks to Boston Connor's buddy Brad Marchand for putting me in a casket on TNT the other night, and even the week before.
Yeah.
How about that, Boston Connor?
Yeah, well, that's deserved. If you keep running your mouth at Brad Marchand, you're going to get Houston's over and over again when you visit Boston, Biz.
Yeah, those are some Irish gypsy bums. They didn't seem to have good balance. There was no good balance.
Nah, they didn't train at Mickey's.
Like at the Ravens Golf Club you're talking about, the video we showed at the beginning there of him punching people, it's like he lands like 4 punches on somebody's face, and that person's still very much just
he ends up clipping the waitress at the end too. It's just like, do you know how this all started? No. They closed their establishment at 6 o'clock, and they kept flickering the lights like, hey, no more drinks, and you can't tell these guys no. You can't. Hey, if these guys want a cocktail and they can't have it, you're going to eat a knuckle sandwich. That's it. That's what's going on. And But going back to Boston Connor, I mean, Marshy's a beauty, and I mean that was getting guys like that on the broadcast is so good for the league. If we had 12 more Broad Marchands, we'd be making as much revenue as the NBA at this point. Amen. So those are always invited, and it was if you can't laugh at yourself, guys, and then you're the joke, right?
No, and also what you're doing in the way Aaron phrased it, and I think the way we phrased it immediately upon breaking it all down when we heard about the story, it's like these Irish gypsies, allegedly, Shay Stevens, shout out for your work, but everything I've read, the biggest of scumbag con artists who just kind of get away with it, and this is just their family tradition and all this. They'd never run into a hockey guy before. They do their little scams. Get money, leave town, skip town, show up at a golf club, terrorize them. Nobody knows who they are. They're going to be out of town within an hour or two anyway, so who cares? They're living as if it's back in the day when you could just go town to town, outlaws, and just kind of terrorize people. That's what they're doing. They had never, in their family's history, run into a hockey guy.
No.
Then one night in Houston's, in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, a hockey guy just happened to
apparently the Arizona chapter is pretty rattled at the Texas chapter because these guys like to do this and fly under the radar, all the scamming and everything they're doing. But these guys are just going out doing this everywhere. So apparently there's been a bit of a rift. This Shay Stevens guy's been getting messages from both sides where they're all turning on each other. Like, this could end up being a lot bigger in a sense of uncovering more and more of what these guys have going on. But the fact that we ended up uncovering at least some of it, I just hope these guys pay the piper to teach them a lesson as to not only what happened at Houston's, what happened at Ravens Golf Club, but what they're doing to everyday Americans. Like, this is rubbish. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. Like, this guy's cruising around with a fake military ID, getting discounts, like acting like he provided service to his country. Like, this is a joke. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg too.
Full-time scumbags. That's why they family, generational scumbags. Allegedly, obviously, we have to say that from everything.
Allegedly.
Everything, yeah, bingo.
Well, yeah, because we don't need Larry Kazan coming after us and his kid in your DMs.
What'd he say?
No, I said because we don't need Larry Kazan and his kid coming after you. And
what the DM say?
He said, "Eat a bag of dicks." I think he said is what he did, and he called him a Canadian pussy because the guy who's doing the undercover work is a Canadian. So.
What is that?
I don't know.
What's that all about?
It's a great state.
I don't know.
I don't know. It is a great state up there. Canada.
I've never ate a bag of dicks, but I can imagine it's not as good as a traditional salad from Houston. I'll tell you that. With Thousand Island. It ain't as good as that. It ain't as good as that artichoke dip. Not a chance. Not a chicken dicks chance, Pat.
Well, okay. Yeah, okay. I love that. Chicken dicks? Is that what you said there?
Yeah, not a chicken dicks chance.
Okay.
But you guys got anything else for me? Like, I appreciate you guys having me on and shedding light on this and appreciate you guys' support. Pretty cool when you and Aaron Rodgers are giving me props and the rest of the crew, obviously. But like I said before, you guys would have done the exact same thing. I just needed you there.
I wish I was there. Can't wait. I'm probably going to live there later in life. Love the place. Love that you did it for them. Let's talk a little hockey. You talk about Marchand. Obviously, they get a new coach, Coach Sacco, who was actually Connor's Little League coach, I think.
Yeah. Back in Winchester, Sacco, I play with his son. We kind of go all the way back. I believe there's a chance I might get a shot, maybe a 10-day, two-way contract with the Bees. But how about the Bruins? Obviously, last night they get absolutely dismantled, so it's a bad time to bring up the Bruins. But do you like the Sacco move? And they have played much better. Do you think this is kind of where the season turns for the Bruins?
And who is the team that we need to be watching if it isn't the Boston Bruins?
Yeah, I mean, do I like the move? I really liked Monty. I just say it wasn't even that bad. They were just one game below 500. I think that they had way bigger issues, and the management will go back to saying that they didn't really have a good training camp, and maybe there was a lack of response, and Monty's message had kind of fallen on deaf ears. What I don't know, but that. The thing is Sacco's definitely a lot more defensive minded. He's trying to get them back to their structure and improving in a lot of areas they've been horrible at. Like one of the most penalized teams in the league, one of the worst offensive teams. Their power play was, at least going back to last week, was 31st in the league. So normally this is a team that has a great culture, great special teams, great foundational defensively, and great goaltending, and they just really got away from that. So they've had an improvement in their record since Sacco has taken over. Mind you, the teams they've played against haven't been necessarily the highest of caliber. As you see last night, they finally play a top team in the league and they get waxed.
Wow.
So I think in that stretch of games where they went on like a 6-2, 7-2 run, they'd only played 2 playoff teams. So do I think it was the right move? Not necessarily in the long run, but maybe in the short time to get the spark for the guys. It's just kind of, he's collateral damage. And also, let's not forget, Monty was offered, from my understanding, a 3-year deal at close to $10 million that he turned down, knowing that he's a top coach in the league and probably knowing that St. Louis or other teams were prepared to give him a big deal. And my understanding, it was a 5 years times $5 million that he got from St. Louis, like within a week. So, right move for him and his family. He's got ties to St. Louis, and he's off to bigger and better pastures. And Boston, at least they hit the reset button.
About bigger and better.
Bruins can't afford their coach.
No, we can afford it.
They're cheap.
I mean, what?
They're cheap.
Really?
Bruins are notoriously cheap. Their hand has been forced, considering the trend in the league is you just have to pay your superstar players. But it wasn't necessarily a common theme. Now they did have guys like Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand who were also willing to buy in to the hard cap and take team friendly deals. But when McAvoy, Pasternak, and now obviously Swayman, when those types of deals have come up, they're not going to get the deals anymore. So they can't be cheap. But where they can try to be cheap is with their head coach. And they tried to be cheap with Swayman, and we all saw how that all went down. That was a bit of a debacle, which created, in my opinion, horrendous juju in the locker room, and that was a reason for part of their slow start.
Yeah. I didn't like that was happening with Sway. He's good on our show.
Yeah, that was bullshit. He's great for the city. He's an American man as well from Alaska. But what Biz is kind of dancing around is that a lot of people, at least right now in Boston, have a problem with that front office and Sweeney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the current moment in time.
Oh, they don't love what they're doing.
Especially because of what happened with Monty.
Okay. Oh, you guys turned on the Bruins?
We're not turning on the bees.
Boston Connor, I don't know if you'd heard this as well. Like, they basically told Sacco, be prepared to take over the team partway through the year if things don't necessarily get off to a hot start. Montgomery has the best winning percentage the last prior 2 seasons. They won a President's Trophy, then they lost their 2 best centermen in Krejci and Bergeron, and then they still finished with well over 100 points. And I want to say that his winning percentage is like 700 as a coach over those 2 years. And then all of a sudden you have a little bit of a slow start. You're 1 game below 500 after you just fumbled your goalie situation by dealing Allmark too soon and then messing around with Swayman. And then you make the signings that you did and bringing in Zadorov and Lindholm and maybe weren't working out at the beginning. And then you're kind of throwing your coach under the bus. Listen, I have no issue with management in Boston, but I think that there was a little bit of fumble fucking going on with what they had to take care of. And they should be part to blame for that slow start.
Absolutely. Can't be fumble fucking around up here.
That's what
can't be doing it.
Can't be doing about that. Yeah, it's bullshit, but they're figuring it out now.
Yes, they are. Because Coach Sacco.
Sacco's got the boys buzzing. We're playing with our socks out.
All right, let's talk about. Go ahead. You're gonna fit. You had.
Can I ask one favor of Boston? Can I get relieved of the rest of my push-ups?
Yeah. Push-ups have been waived.
Boot fucked in the head, but also putting a casket by Marchand on live television 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
Am I good?
We'll waive 10 of them, so you'll still have. We'll still have five to 7.
How is your T2, T3 from that bodying that happened? You recovered pretty quickly. I mean, you were able to eat kicks to the face.
Yep.
Your face. Afterwards, you did a video, seemingly 20 minutes after the whole thing, and your face compared to those mugshots was like, can this guy bruise? What even happens? And then Marchand comes in and just T2, T3, is that what that was? What happened to you?
He got me right in the vertebrae.
Yeah.
Right in the vertebrae, right there, out 4 to 6. What I said though is the AHL and the NHL, but more specifically the AHL fighting guys at that level. Those guys were like bigger, stronger. They chucked more weights. That prepared me for that because I would have to fight Jeremy Oblonsky, the Nasty Marastis, and the list goes on of guys in the American League where you would do it Friday. I would get beat up. I would get on a bus. We'd drive to the next city, 2 a.m., get off, unload your gear, sleep at the Motel 8, and then do it again the next night, and then do it again the next night. And I was getting bambied most nights because, I'll throw them, but not necessarily that tough.
Yeah, it took some, gave more. Back then, Gave some, took more, obviously.
Way more. Took a lot more.
Yeah,
as you can see, my nose used to be normal.
Yeah, when Big Nasty McNasty and Earthquake the Bake are swinging on ice every single Sunday. I mean, you're in a bad spot, but we appreciate you doing it because you represent hockey well and society well. Perfect guy to run into these scumbags.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right on the money.
Perfect guy. This guy's been fighting McNasty on the fucking ice for years. You think he's not worried about a couple bad
Have you ever seen Shoresy, the show Shoresy?
I've seen clips, have not seen full episodes.
Yeah, well, Nasty Marassi, John Nasty Marassi was one of the toughest guys ever play in the minors, and he's in that show as one of the characters. So I'm sure people listen who watch Letterkenny or Shoresy will know the reference to John Nasty Marassi.
And Mr. Nasty Marassi, thank you for your service.
Legend.
Thank you,
To sport.
Nasty.
We love that. Anybody that put their face on the line for sport, holy
Look at
shit. Yeah, I've seen this photo before. I've seen Nasty Marassi before.
Tito Ortiz.
Holy hell.
Hey, if you want some, you guys do how you love hockey clips.
Yeah.
Pull up him and Bossy in the Quebec Fighting League. I want to say they fought 10 times, and they would go old school toe to toe where they would punch each other in the head like 20 times. Marassi, I think, got knocked out like 4 of the 10 times, like out cold on the ice. But every single game they would play, they would go toe to toe at center ice. So pull up him and Bossy's fights if you can to get the crowd going.
I don't want to get into a full hockey was better when that was happening type thing, but that was certainly like a part of the show. You know, like having a big dog who was there to protect Star, and also if we get down by 2 or lose momentum, somebody go out there and fight and do this thing. That was more so a part of the show back in the day. Now they're still fighting, but none of them like staged. Holy shit.
No, these guys are just mutants, dude. These guys are okay. So Marassi clips Bossy there. Wow. So I think
you fought these guys.
There's a full collage on YouTube where I think it's probably about 4 or 5 minutes long, maybe longer, where these guys are doing this every single game. Like, look at these guys. This is not how I fought. I protected my face a little bit.
Jeez.
A little bit.
If I'm marketing that minor league game, I think you're marketing Marassi and Boss.
No doubt.
Have round 9 tonight, and then there's also a hockey game happening. That used to be awesome to watch. Now, let's get back to modern hockey.
Yeah.
The reigning, defending, undisputed, shout out to Paul Heyman, Lordo Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah.
D-Bud has a question for you.
Absolutely. Biz, all the boys here, Nick, Gump, they always tell me how tough it is to make 3 back-to-back-to-back Stanley Cup runs. But look like the Panthers kind of avoiding that hangover. Rhino, Barkey, Chucky, and all the boys are buzzing right now. What are the chances that my Panthers can run it back?
If there was a team that I would bet on who could get back to the finals, I would say that they could do it because they have such strong goaltending. Their core group of guys is large, and they're just used to being there, and they're so reliable. What they do a good job of, Zito and staff, is they're able to replenish the areas with the money they have left over and address the needs where, a lot of these guys who ended up winning with them, who became free agents, they're going to go get more money elsewhere just based on their production. Like Oliver Ekman-Larsson was a great defenseman that went there, who was on making like $1.5 million and was playing like a $4 or $5 million defenseman. Well, he's off to Toronto. So they go find the next best thing to plug in. So based on the coaching staff, that core group of guys and how many weapons they have and that culture in the locker room, I would say that I wouldn't count them out. If you get back to three Stanley Cup finals, back-to-back years, like in this modern era, that is something to be celebrated. That is such a difficult achievement, especially with the grind of the 82-game schedule, but just what the 7-game series entail in the Stanley Cup playoffs and how draining they are physically and mentally. It would just be a testament to that organization and those guys in the locker room, but they're off to a fairly good start this year. They started out really hot and then they tailed off a little bit, but you have to imagine at some point they were probably a little bit exhausted coming down off that high.
Yeah, because they're just boozing down there at the elbow room every damn day. Watching that thing get thrown into the ocean, have a blast. It became hockey town down there.
Yeah.
They became a hockey town down there. Hopefully it'll continue. Hopefully the game continues to grow, and you're only helping that, Biz. You're the man. That show on TNT, fantastic. I think the vibes are great. I think your relationship with the league is one that they need to make sure they cherish and hold on to. You're great for the sport. You're great for us. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Right back at you guys. You guys are crushing it. And, we got a great team at TNT, and the league's been thriving and very receptive to, hockey's a very, team-oriented sport where individuals don't stand out, but the ownership and everybody understands that there is an entertainment value, and, getting guys on and doing the things that Marchand did and silly stuff like that is only going to grow the sport. But like I said, the hockey community and Gary Bettman and the rest of the crew have been very receptive to that. So I appreciate the compliment, and we're just trying to grow this thing. Hockey's an amazing sport, and the states is starting to realize that more and more. And Four Nations coming up, you guys got a wagon of a squad.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah,
oh yeah.
USA's, it's our sport.
Yeah, we're bringing the hammer down.
Yeah, it's our sport.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
It's our sport.
If Canada becomes a state, then all of it's our sport. Is that how
when it does?
One last shout out to Spittin' Chicklets, by the way, because obviously the TNT thing does great work for the NHL. What you guys have done digitally is captivate a lot of people because you're able to get the most out of these players. We haven't heard a lot from any of these guys over the years. You guys help out so much. Thank you for everything, Biz. You're the man.
There's no TNT for me if there's no Rear Admiral, RA, Ryan Whitney, Mike Grinnell, Elliot Fish, Pasha Eshke, Dale Morningstar memes. It all started here, boys. And like you guys, mom and pop, started to grow it, and look where you guys are now. So thank you guys so much. Love coming on with you guys and continue to grow the game as well. Thank you guys so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a man who looks like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's a hero.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
All business.
Yeah, biz.
Latino man, for sure.
It's
Latino
perfect.
man. Do you smell? What a wild story.
Yeah,
I'm getting texts from people who had no idea this happened. Wow, is this real? Yes. What the perfect guy for that to happen to?
No kidding.
Perfect guy. That's so far. They chased him down so far. How'd they not get tired? All of them.
I wish I was there.
It would have been great if you would have just rolled out in your little, those things you put on your feet. You would have
God, Bill Goldberg.
You would have to kick those off. It could have been a Bill Goldberg on those surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
You would have to kick those shoes off because I think you would have rolled your ankle in those.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you probably would have had to
They're
go
wide enough.
He would've
They're
tightened.
wide enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have tightened them up.
Hold on, Biz.
I'll be right there.
Arizona is a great place, though.
Awesome.
I like that they were the town that stopped the whole thing. I'm appreciative of hockey. I'm happy we just did good hockey talk today.
Yeah.
So you guys are cheap. I didn't know that. You need to stop talking about any of it.
Well, hold on. Okay.
You guys are cheap.
Let's make sure we understand what Biz is when it comes to hockey fandom. He's a Toronto Maple Leafs guy. Okay, so he wants to bury the Bees at any turn. But yes, that has been a thing. The Bruins and hockey in general has been cheap. Let's not act like the best players are getting paid anything great. All right, they're trying to build the game when it comes to money.
And one last thing on this, though. Hey, stick taps for hockey.
Hell yeah, hockey.
Football's happening.
Hell yeah.
Football's happening in a massive, massive way. Business for NFL teams is only getting better. Remember, just a few months ago, they approved venture capitalists, like VC funds, and groups of people who have their money together to be able to invest into NFL teams up to 10% or something like that, which meant that these owners could just get a payday real quick. Philadelphia Eagles, allegedly valued at $8.3 billion, sold 8% interest to two family investors. Now, is it family investors? Maybe. Is it a VC firm that has family members a part of it? Possibly. Nonetheless, $664 million pocketed. Selling 8%. Still the owner, still running everything. Nothing changes on his day-to-day. His money, I guess, goes down in the overall whenever they say net value or net worth because he gave up 8% of it to somebody else, but he gets $664 million in his pocket. Look for a lot of teams to do this move, which is why they allowed the VC funds into up to 10%. Because everybody's saying we're profiting so much. Who's profiting? Are you profiting? We need to be able to get money quick. Boom! Sell some to the trillionaires. Let's do that. Congrats to the NFL. The rich gets richer.
Yep. Fantastic.
Valuation, $8.3 billion for the team?
That's the Eagles.
Yeah.
And remember, you are exactly what somebody says they'll pay you.
Absolutely. Every time.
So 8%, that's probably got to rent a family members, but ain't no family discount here. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Hour 2 on the other side with J.J. Watt, A.J. Hawk, and more stories. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life.
There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time.
What?
Okay, can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Mana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And we talk about Mana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I couldn't let buried its guts. Sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What does it take away? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me new Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Wow. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup. Sorry, Mike.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
To you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what the Rock is.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this White Wednesday, December 11th, 2024, hour 2 of the program starts right now. Football! It is wonderful. In the last hour, we learned about a hockey legend who fought for not only himself, an entire town in a place called Houston's. Now, I yearn for the day that I'll be able to go have a wonderful salad or maybe espresso martini over there at Houston's. But until then, it is nice to know that the hero Biz Nasty is rolling around at any given moment, waiting for scumbags to expose themselves and then get their asses beat by one guy. Thanks for the time, Biz. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Biz.
Thanks to hockey. And once again, hockey is awesome, but so is football. We'll be chatting a lot about that for the next hour or so. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Sweet shirt, pal.
Yeah, thanks. I found this underneath a massive pile of clothes that needs to be folded in my apartment. I haven't worn it in a while. It's from the gas station.
We are in pile of clothes season.
Boy, it's been a couple months now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Been sitting there.
Football's tough. You just kind of bump, ba, boo, ba, 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 ba. I got a bag of West Virginia stuff sitting over there. It's been very clutch over the last few days. I don't know if there's been any news broken over there, but if anything does come out, we will certainly keep people updated on who's the new head coach at West Virginia University. Everybody's talking about UNC. Is it going to be Bill Belichick? Possibly. I think there was a report that he was meeting with the
Board of Trustees.
Boom, I think that was happening. So he handed over a 400-page thing, said this is how this is going to go if I'm going to be the head coach. He's now meeting with the trustees, seemingly all the way invested. Congrats to UNC, it appears, for getting Bill Belichick as your head coach, GM, and director of player personnel.
Yeah. Be nuts.
The amount of things you can do over there, especially if he runs it the way that he chooses to run it. He's going to have to win early to be able to keep the buy-in from people, I think. But if he gets his guys in there, the right people in there, and he's able to build a culture quickly, it's like UNC, the education's phenomenal. The merch is crazy. I assume there's money down there. And Michael Jordan is potentially very much invested in your success. That's a good person to have no matter who or what sport you're playing. So congrats to Bill if that is the case. And at West Virginia, we've heard it's down to a few finalists who will make the decision. Ren Baker.
That's right.
Who will be the head coach for the Mountaineers going forward? We shall see. 9-year NFL vet, hosts everything DB, good D, bad D, Butch.
Yeah, D Butch.
I was trying to think. Your dad went to Army, right?
Yes.
Your dad was an Army man.
Yes, sir.
Army Navy this weekend. I see the helmet in front of you. It looks sweet.
Yep, go Army, beat Navy.
Okay, so that's how you feel. I see a lot of people saying go Navy, beat Army.
Yeah, need our Navy right now.
Why?
I always need a Navy, right?
Especially right now.
Oh, you're talking about this exact moment?
Yeah, in time.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about the football team. You're talking about just in general, the water we're going to need to figure out.
Support them both. Going to need to
skies too.
Well,
the Air Force.
Well, allegedly they're going home to the water, and then they're heading. You're right. We do need the Air Force, and then there's a chance we need Space Force to maybe monitor everything that's going on.
Come together right now.
Hey, we talked about these things yesterday because Aaron brought them up. Obviously, he's living in New Jersey right now. This is something that Aaron would certainly be interested in. I didn't really know enough about. Drones in New Jersey is a real thing. That is a real thing. I fell into a wormhole last night on it. Wife fell asleep. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm seeing a lot of people respond to Aaron's, are talking about it yesterday, going, hey, you should look up drones in NJ. Drones in NJ. So I did. What the hell's going on?
Not everywhere.
There's a new update now.
Yeah, we know a little more.
Big update.
We need to hope that inside source is wrong right there, because that's scary stuff if that is the case. And no matter what it is, it's scary. Like that's what we kind of thought about earlier. If it's our team doing these drones, why? Okay. If it's some other team, which now they are reporting, doing these drones, why? How? And then if it's not from here doing these things, why? There's really no good answer, I think, like the way I'm kind of looking at this. But all I do know, sports are awesome. Sports are awesome.
Going sports.
Football's great. Let's not look too deep into it. That was literally, I was 3 scrolls into this thing. 3 scrolls into this, reading things. And that guy looks pretty, like he knows what he's talking about, actually. He looks like pretty official. He's sitting down at court. Listen to what he says. So this is a real thing. Okay, let me act accordingly. And then this new one. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me go back to some NFL highlights. Let me just go over here. Let me do this entire thing, which is what we'll do because guess what? It's all going to blow over or fly over. How far? Let's make sure it stays. 12-year NFL vet AQ Shipley is here. Q, how you doing, pal?
Great. Glad to be here.
You know, the thing that we didn't get to do in the first hour because we got a chance to do some journalism and uncover maybe an Irish gypsy clan, allegedly, that has been terrorizing the United States of America for families of generations. And now they're potentially stopped because they went into your town, Scottsdale, and took over Houston's. I mean, that's a wonderful thing, but we didn't get a chance to hear what your 3 takeaways were coming out of week 14 of the NFL season. Every week we've been able to do this, and obviously you rank the top 5 performing offensive lines every single week, and I love that. And honestly, we'll do that later today. But what are your 3 takeaways that we need to be talking about from week 14 that maybe hasn't had enough spotlight, AQ Shipley? Burrow to Chase, the dynamic duo. And look, you got LSU to LSU, Cincinnati to Cincinnati. You know, I had Darius Butler say yesterday, and I don't know if he said this on air or off air, he goes, this Jamar Chase might be the one. He might be the one. He might be the one when it's all said and done. Well, Joey Burrow knows that since college. What are we not talking about enough, you think, AQ?
These 2 are incredible, and Joe Burrow in any other given year would probably be the MVP of the league. His numbers are ridiculous. To this point right now, He's thrown for 3,706 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 6 picks. 93 catches for 1,319 yards and 15 touchdowns for Jamar Chase.
3,706, that's a big number, brother.
3,706.
I mean, that's a big number,
big
brother.
number. Big number.
What are some plays that we have here to shot?
Yeah, so this first one, we saw this play. Everybody knows this play. But here, he avoids Micah Parsons, steps up, and just drops it on a dime because he loves out routes to this guy. It's unbelievable how many out routes. You saw it later in the game with the touchdown on the out route to the front pylon. They are constantly, and their timing is impeccable with these two. And then a little bit later,
out route.
Winner, chicken dinner.
See ya.
Shout out cover for the Cincinnati Bengals. Needed that.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely needed that. D-Butch, why does he always get open? Because they're scared he's going to go.
I mean, this game, way too much single coverage. Like, you have to double team that guy. He's a game wrecker in and out. But the thing about Chase, he can impact you on all levels of the offense, from the screen route to the intermediate pass game, and obviously he can take the top off of defense. So he has all the tools, and obviously on the same page with his college QB.
The more impressive thing, though, is the fact that they're not chunking it down the field to him all the time. It's the ones that you throw the quick screen, the wide receiver screen, or the 10-yard out that he turns it into 50 or 60.
He runs all routes in the tree.
Yeah.
And that's a weapon, especially because a DB can't just guess or know or have a tell. You know, some wide receivers, they know what routes they run. Hey, this guy runs 3 routes, right? Am I speaking out of pocket here?
Correct.
Boom. Jamar, with his explosion, with his capability, and his work ethic, he runs everything, and Joe finds him on everything.
That's right.
T. Higgins also being on the field, good news, right?
Good news.
Have another guy that they have to at least pay attention to. Helps Jamar Chase a lot, to your point about the one-on-one.
Yeah, always good news, but it starts with Uno, with Jamar. So I'm sure T. Higgins probably, would benefit from having him on the field a lot more. But anytime you have more weapons on the field, it helps whoever that primary weapon is, but you build the passing game around a guy like Jamar Chase.
D-Butch really likes Jamar Chase.
Loves him.
I mean, look, him and Jefferson, they're kind of in the tier of their own. They were in school together. Obviously, Jamar was 1A, Jefferson was 1B, and they kind of go back and forth now. But, yeah, when you watch him, like you heard Tomlin kind of talk about him on, I think, the first episode of Hard Knocks. Like, hey, this guy, he's going to run the grass because – and Burrow's just going to find it. It could be a dig route, it could be a bang, it could be whatever. He can read the coverage, get to a space, 9 puts it on him, and to AQ's point, once he catches the ball, it's almost like the beginning of another play. Now you got to rally and really tackle this guy because if you see him, he's a big dude, well-built dude.
They are a dynamic duo, aren't they? That's a winner right there. Stops on a dime, cuts back in. Corner's sitting on his ass. Jamar Chase just covered for the Cincinnati Bengals. We appreciate it. What's the number 2 thing we should be talking about? How about Purdy's back? Guess who's back? Back again. Purdy's back.
Tell a friend.
Should we?
We should. Purdy's back. 20 of 25 for 325 yards.
Whoa.
Guy's unbelievable. I have loved this guy since he came into the league, but I was told by some other talking heads that without Ayuk, without CMC, without Trent Williams, without both running backs, without all these guys, he couldn't do it. 20 of 25, 325 yards, and making plays. Watch this. Look at this. Look at that pump fake. Fakes the wheel. Drops it to Kittle in the hole.
Is that a
Unbelievable.
Rich Gannon pump fake right there?
Watch this. Look at that. He's trying to hit the wheel.
Shades of Rich.
Is that awesome?
That's awesome.
He was trying to hit the wheel and then finds Kittle in the hole, which, by the way, Kittle had 150-something yards. Unbelievable game by him. Next one's unbelievable. We get a pressure off the left side, right? Free hitter. Fade away. Throw it to a spot. You know he's going to be there. All the way down to the 1-yard line.
Should have been a touchdown. Yeah. You got
should have been. Just roll a little faster.
Yeah, and then this one.
This one's incredible, too. You get the play-action pass. When you get the play action, here you go. Let's roll out. Let's throw back across to Jawan Jennings, who has become their number 1 receiver because you might as well say we haven't had Deebo Samuel. He's only getting 2 touches and 20 yards. He's pissed off about it. Everybody's pissed off. But without all their top dogs that he has become the guy about, that we have said he can't win without, he's seemingly finding ways to win over.
He's a good player. It's not just gimmicks, what you're saying.
He's a stud, and he should get every penny he deserves. He's unbelievable.
Nah,
That's not what they're saying.
I know.
Well,
I hear
pay
the
this
talking
guy.
heads.
Yeah,
I do appreciate the fact that all the scouts and personnel that missed on him, Brock Purdy, their opinion still carries so much weight that people will just be like, remember, this guy last pick in the draft. Like, everybody's waiting for him to almost come back down to earth as opposed to being like, hey, this guy was improperly read coming out of college. This guy is an NFL quarterback because they can't figure out right here. Now, is the Shanahan offense good for him? Sure. You put him with KOC though?
I think he'll be just fine.
Whoa.
I assume he'd be A-okay over there. I think if you put him in Arthur Smith's, you put him in LaFleur, I think you put him in a lot of offense, like system. It's like he's a quarterback that I think could fit in a lot of these systems that are happening in the NFL. Ben Johnson?
Sure.
Brock Purdy and not that Jared Goff is not fantastic. I'm just saying, Brock Purdy's a guy. Nobody gives him enough credit for his actual talent and ability. They're always looking for reasons for him to be a bum. This Niners team has been disappointing, I think, on all accounts.
Yes.
Now, injuries have obviously fallen into that, but even like watching them, it's not the same team. They're still in it. Yeah. Obviously, it's very low chance, but they are still in it. And what they did to the Bears, I don't think that's just the Bears stink. Maybe the Bears.
Look what the Bears did to the Detroit Lions literally the week before.
Yeah.
They were right in that game, and they held Detroit to, 17 points?
I think the Niners finally showed up.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think the Niners finally showed up for the first time all season. And let me tell them, he looked great. It was fun to watch.
Good squad.
We missed it this year.
Yeah, Greenlaw's back. Saw him breaking down the huddle yesterday.
Fun to watch. If he gets in there, it's like that Niners team, even though they still have a chance, I hope they get it, and it's a tiny chance because they're fun if they're going to continue to play like this.
But even so, with the way the Cardinals are playing right now, obviously the Seahawks have been on a little bit of run here, but their schedule to end is very tough. If the Niners win on Thursday night, they are right back in this thing.
And it's going to be fun to watch the people have to choke on their words.
No doubt.
Because, boy, Brock Purdy's been getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
This Niners team's over. Shanahan and Lynch, these guys stink. Let's get them out of here. It's like, damn, have we forgot about this Niners team? They are a wagon. And then all of a sudden, Murphy's Law happens to them. Worst thing imaginable, and they lose. And it's like, well, how many Super Bowls you got? Same thing that's happening with Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, how many Super Bowls you got? I don't care what you do. In the end, only one team's going to win. I think the Niners, going into the season, before I knew Christian McCaffrey was injured, I think we all had him as a team that could go and do it.
Yep.
Now they're counted out completely. That's a nice chip on his shoulder for a team that's had a lot of success over the recent history. And the last thing that you think we should be talking about coming out of Week 14, MCDC's all grit. What does that mean, AQ?
It means the nuts that he had to make the decision that he did against the Green Bay Packers. This game was unbelievable to watch, first of all, but listen, he's going to kick this. They're in field goal range. There's 40-something seconds left. He does not want to give any time to Jordan Love based on how well he's played all year, right? So he says, Jared Goff, what do you want to do? Jared says, I want to go for it.
And then he goes back on the mic. He goes, Jared wants to go for it. And, we're going for it. That was a great sideline shot.
Great sideline. You heard Richard Sherman talk about it, but then we get this play. And who do you go behind when you need a yard? Penei Sewell. Let's watch this one more time. If we can get this back to watch Penei Sewell for 50 seconds. Throws him, clears the hole. That's all you need. Game, set, match. Now we can run it down to 3 seconds, kick the game winner, get out of here, boys, and we are running the North.
Though, entire offensive line took this as a massive compliment for them to go for this.
100%. And they're doing this without Taylor Decker. They did it without Taylor Decker, who's their star left tackle. They're just like, we trust in Big Skip.
Here's the story that you were referring to, Richard Sherman. It was I saw it on the NFL social media account, originally from the Richard Sherman podcast.
He's having a conversation with all of us. And Whit was like, hey, what was the conversation like on the sideline before that 4th and 1? And Jared basically comes over and Dan's on the headset, telling him, hey, we're kicking it. And Jared, dejected, is like, man, I want to go. And Dan Campbell just looks at him and said, you want to do it?
Hey, man, we're going for
it. And then he changes his mind and goes for it.
They are going. And then Goff falls down, but Montgomery is able to pick up the first down. So Goff falls down as he's making the handoff. What a
Everybody's
ball.
celebrating. Yeah, I mean, everybody's celebrating. Yeah. Jared Goff falling, knowing that he's the reason why we're going for it. There was no way that ball wasn't going to get handed off there. I love that MCDC knows his team. Mm-hmm. I like that he listens to his team. And I like that he, even though he was facing a lot of criticism for that decision, even though they win that game, he says, I didn't want to give the ball back. Instead of saying, all my boys wanted to go, because then he'll be judged for being emotional and somebody's got to be the adult in the room, yada, yada, yada. I love the way MCDC coaches.
I love it too, and I love the fact that he just trusts the boys, right? It's like, hey, whatever they say, I love this. And you live and die by what he's done his entire time coaching that team. And they go for it on 4th down. They go for it all the time on 4th down. So why stop now?
Well, I didn't like the one on their own 29 or 30, and that didn't work out. I think we all agree that
we can throw that one out.
Hindsight, that one was dumb. That one got the Packers back into the game.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those.
There's been a couple.
A fake punt that they didn't need the run or whatever that puts the other team back in it. It's like, okay, we're doing too much, which leads to some people saying whenever push comes to shove, he's going to make one of those decisions and they're going to lose from it. But I don't think they feel that way. And Jared Goff knew they were going to pick it up. You don't go over to the coach and say, let us do this if you don't think you're going to get it. Congrats to the Lions being a completely different team.
Yeah.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who I think would have loved to play for Motor City Dan Campbell. Instead, he was on the other sideline. Lost this game, didn't he?
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, brother of Tony Hawk, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk.
How you doing, Hawker?
Doing great. Yeah, there's a lot of UFO situations going out there. Not just New Jersey. They're all over the country.
What do you mean they're all? Hold on.
What?
AJ,
I just feel like stuff is happening. I'm getting videos sent to me. I got buddies out there in Northern Cal. Weird lights in the sky. I don't know what's going on.
I will say this, Age. You are not normally the guy that would lead with that. You're normally the guy that goes, "Whoa, Aaron. Let me guess. It's an extraterrestrial." That would normally be your entire thing, with a series of follow-ups, all being condescending and saying that this is not real. But yes, it is wild right now. It is very wild right now, the shit that's going on.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, we'll get some answers eventually, right? AQ's tapped in. He's got to know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe AQ does have the answers. I hope somebody other than him does as well, so we can really do this. We were wondering, we just need baseball. Everybody needs baseball bat. You know, so whenever these drones start flying around, even if it's SUV size, I've seen some scorned ex-girlfriends take baseball bats to cars. And, you know, it's normally like a good 100 shots and then some spray paint down the side of that. We can get that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Juan Soto, congratulations. You just got paid all that money. We need you with a bat. Aaron Judge, big dong hitter. We need him with a bat.
Boca Beach Boys.
The Boca, Little Costco. We need him on a bat. Bryce Harper.
Boom.
On his, because him's coming from that other side.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Juan Soto, I guess, is lefty as well. So it could be a barrage of bats coming at these things. I think it's how we win. And let's remember, we got to hit the you know what I mean?
How do we get up there? How do we get to him?
Ladder. I was just on a ladder over here to get up on the. Get those big ladders. Everybody just kind of walks up, and then we're doing this number.
We need Red Panda then.
Red Panda on her unicycle, certainly.
Yeah.
But I do fear with the videos that I'm seeing in the description, they're saying there's like 30 of these things coming out. We might need Aaron Judge and Juan Soto and Bryce Harper and Lil Costco to have two bats. And we need this one here out of the sky. We need this one here out of the sky. I think that's what we need. I think that's the only way we're going to beat these drones because they are everywhere. Sorry, we're okay. Sports is good.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he said on the program, though.
Yeah, that's not good news.
That means that's all AJ's been thinking about for the last 20 minutes waiting to get on.
Yeah, I need to know what he saw because I don't know if we saw what he saw.
Yeah, can you send to group, please? Because I have not heard anything that you were.
Well, it's actually Spence, old Spank out in California, NorCal. So he's saying they're talking about all these things being in Jersey, East Coast. He said, I'm filming this every single night.
Two-front war.
That's both sides.
Yeah.
And then what's Trudeau doing up there? We don't know.
Oh, man.
We'll get Biz up there. We'll get Biz to walk the northern border.
Scary times.
How about him breaking that down? That looked like there was 20 people following him out of that bar. And I appreciate the fact that he just walks up into a massive group and goes, hey, if this keeps happening, all of you, right outside if you want it. And then they swing on him and then bang, he's in the middle of a, what do you call it?
Donnybrook.
A Donnybrook. That was awesome. That was fantastic. We might all be in Donnybrooks with these things that are flying in the sky soon.
Seriously.
I don't like how negative you are.
I to be completely honest, usually I think it's funny. I don't think it's funny anymore.
Yeah.
No.
The things that are being said, not.
Yeah, I'm actually genuinely worried about it. But
bad spot.
Remember
but sports.
Yeah, but think about
it's got to be us. It's got to be our stuff.
Well,
that's not what they're saying.
No,
that's not what they're saying. Yeah. So
no.
Zito's a good drone flyer, though.
Yes.
So we got a couple drones around here.
We need to get like an SUV size one, maybe the size of this building.
Okay, are we sure they're not helicopters? Because last time we did this, it was a helicopter, boys.
Bang. That's right. We need to hold on to that. Now, the people are describing SUV-sized drones. Is that helicopter? You know, and maybe
technically
rear view mirror has fog.
This description.
Maybe. Yeah. And they're saying it's coming out of the water. I think I heard.
We know it's not a helicopter. We know that one video we did show was, which is good.
To be clear, you listen to that video, which we were not able to do on the show. You hear the helicopter.
You do.
But the drones make sounds too, I assume. Not these ones, though, I guess. These ones don't make sound?
Yeah.
They're drones. They have the little blades. You can hear them if you get close enough.
But what if these ones don't? Because they're saying you see them, they disappeared. So what the Hey, it's all right. We got sports. Join us now. We got sports. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This guy is in the Bull Ring of Honor down there in Houston.
Hell yeah.
How are they doing? Are they all right?
I don't know. Big bye week.
Hope not.
Needed. This guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever the time comes up. I think depending upon when he plays his last snap, which could be this year.
Yeah.
We have no idea. He's a Hard Knocks superstar. 2 different seasons now. He's a father. He's a stud. Ladies and gentlemen, the man behind the hashtag AskJage trending topic, JJ Watt.
Yeah, Jay.
How you doing, Jage?
Hi, guys. I'm doing really well. I'm happy to be here. I love AJ's theories, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing more.
Well, we're going to try not to talk about him because, to be honest, you talk about him too much, you get a little bummed out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be bummed out. Okay.
Or you get excited. It could be a cool fight.
No.
We could have a great battle.
Yeah, you're right. It could be.
No.
We need Biz to give a motivational speech, man.
Hey, Connor, just keep your soft ass out of the conversation.
You're not reading what I'm reading, brother, but I like your optimism.
That's not what hey, hold on. We're going to be A-OK. We got to remember that. We're going to be A-OK no matter what it is.
These things pull 1,000 G's.
Yeah, but you know what we pull?
Sleds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sleds.
So how many of them would it take to pull you?
2 million, maybe.
Whoa. Jeez. Called you a fat.
Yeah, I'm done working out. I decided yesterday. There's no point.
Don't
anymore.
give up, brother.
Don't you give up.
Come on.
It's too late. I'm done.
No, don't do it, man.
I'm enjoying
Look what you've done, JJ.
Having fun.
Thanks, JJ.
Eating what I want.
Happy, JJ.
The duck called you fat as well, multiple times.
Yeah.
I did not like that. Both on the program, which I did not catch, he pointed at you and did this number.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the game, he pointed at you and did this number yet again. I'm like, what is the deal? I don't think that's the case at all. I think you're doing great.
No, it's all right.
Well, Jade's called you a fat ass.
The thing is, you are not fat.
Yeah, but you called him
just
one.
I think it's like the haircut, it's the look. I don't know what it is.
No, it's his clothes.
God
if he
damn
wears
it.
something that fits him and it's tight fitting, you look at him and go, you look really skinny right now, and then he hates that you complimented him.
Yeah, so there's a chance it's a lose-lose no matter what happens here.
doing?
He's been putting in a lot of work. But this all started with you calling him a fat ass in Cary, North Carolina.
That's right.
Right?
That's right, yeah. Well,
I mean, you yelled at me from the donut line, so that one set itself up.
It
So,
did.
exactly. That's where it all started there. Now the duck is like, yeah, Jade, you're right. That is a fat ass over there. So, kind of your fault. If you would like to apologize because we are in the holiday season, we would appreciate it.
I apologize for nothing. I take nothing back.
Good.
It looks like the donuts were delicious, and we got rocked in the tournament anyway, so we're all even.
Yeah, and then you almost fought a ref. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened down there in Cary. Who knows if any of us will ever be back to that city. It was a great time. It was a great time. It was a great time, great place.
University of North Carolina women, national champions. They just won it in Cary on Monday night. Shout out.
Congratulations,
Shout
UNC. Are they going to hire Bill?
Yeah.
Are they going to hire Bill? We shall see. Let's talk about your life a little bit here. Some of it was documented on Hard Knocks. Obviously, some of it was documented on social media. You went back and saw Tej. You're back in Pittsburgh for the weekend and saw the massive game against the Cleveland Browns, which the Steelers won. And I'll tell you what, watching you and Koa and your family operate is beautiful. And the pregame photo that took place that I saw the footage of on Hard Knocks is like such a perfect depiction of knowing that all 4 of those people are all professional athletes and understand the situation. So look at this. They're all kind of, you guys, all the Watts are kind of hovering around each other. Hugs. Good to see you. Then Tej says, what's up, Ko? Give a kiss. Go Steelers, he says. And then Tej is like, all right, I don't have a lot of time. Let's take a photo. Okay. All right, let's take a photo. Everybody, quick. Look up quickly, everybody. Yup. Here we go. Smile, pose, picture. Koa even knows. Hey, Koa, we only got about 4 seconds right now to take this photo. The efficiency was awesome to watch because it was like, we don't have a lot of time with them. Then the shot inside the suite of you and Koa watching the game and the terrible towel twirling. I mean, not only this angle with your Saris candy in front of you, but then the angle that you put out, I believe, which showcased that Koa was getting after it and really twirling the hell out of that as you were enjoying a Steeler game. And I saw the animated Grinch immediately because I have a 19-month-old daughter, and boy, that iPad movie could be a tag team partner for a parent that you could never even imagine. Jage, what's your takeaway from going to the game? Were you impressed with the way Koa was twirling that towel? And how was it being back on Hard Knocks? You feel like a superstar?
It was awesome. I don't get to see Tej from a fan perspective as much, so to be able to watch him in person, spend a weekend with him, and have Koa there was incredible. I do have a bone to pick. I definitely have a bone to pick because I put that video out of Koa twirling a terrible towel, learning how to, and obviously we got the Grinch set up there, and 99% positive, great comments. But of course, you get the 2 or 3 idiots who are the parenting kings of the world who say, "Oh, look, another iPad baby. Oh, look, we can't parent. We have to put a screen in front of them." I got a message for you. Okay, if you're King Kong, king of the world, best parents on the planet, good for you. You don't need any entertainment whatsoever for your child. Good for you. Congratulations. You're better than all of us. You sit up on your high horse and you look down on the rest of us parents and you look at us as peasants. Great. Well, here's what the situation was. I got to the stadium 2.5 hours before the game started. We went on the field. We're playing with tees. We're watching the game. We're doing all this. We're running around on the field with Koa. I'm showing him football players. I'm teaching him how to catch, throw the ball, et cetera, et cetera. Then we go up to the suite, and the game doesn't kick off for another half hour. I want to watch my brother play. So we've been playing for 2.5 hours on the field, kicking around. I want to watch TJ play the game. I put on the Grinch. Koa, for the first half hour, doesn't want to watch the Grinch. Watches the game.
Yeah.
Then he locks into the Grinch for a little while. I'm like, cool, because I'm watching TJ. We are at the game for 3.5 hours. After the game, we got to wait an hour for him to get showered up, cleaned up, and go home. So we're at the stadium for 6.5 hours total. So if you are the King Kong best parent on the planet and you can entertain your child for 6.5, 7 hours while watching the game and watching your brother play, you're a better person than I am.
Yes, they are.
If not, just be a normal ass parent, put the iPad in front of him and play a damn movie.
No, yeah, agreed. But those people are the best. They are so good. Yeah. They are so good at what they do. And I assume every piece of food that they let their toddler or kid eat is super healthy. And I assume every breath that they take is super good air. I assume every single decision that is made is so that this is going to be the best child of all time. And that whole iPad parenting thing coming from people who maybe don't know this generation of life. Like, I built my business off of this thing right here, okay? My baby girl's on it right now. Whole business was built off of this thing. So the fact that my daughter is 19 months old and knows how to work these things, I think that's actually a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing that she's getting comfortable with technology. Now, can't just have the iPad in front of the baby for its entire, you can't just have animated Grinch and Bluey running every single decision in life in there. But that is a nice thing. And I think her getting comfortable, and I don't know how you feel about Koa, and I don't know how comfortable Koa is. I can only speak for Mackenzie. Her getting comfortable with technology, it makes me excited. I'm like, oh, I think maybe we got a computer engineer here. Do we got maybe a rocket scientist in this entire thing? So I think those people, I understand what they're trying to grandstand on, but I think you could counter their argument literally at any time.
God forbid they saw me feed him 2 Sorry's chocolate pretzels. I mean, who knows? Who knows the backlash? You're feeding him chocolate pretzels?
What's Sorry's?
Sorry's. I literally don't know how to say it. I mean, I'm sorry. You told me 16 times. I have no idea.
You could be sorry, but you should never apologize for eating Saris candy because of how good
Saris.
Yeah.
Man, we really just crushed Cole with the score bug right over the top of his face, too.
I saw that. Yeah. They were holding it for a little bit there. They're trying to hold it for a little bit there. And then inevitably, like, are we going to get out of here? Or yeah. You need to know how to place him a little bit better. Yeah. Get the kid off the screen. I can't take it anymore. Okay, let's talk about this Pittsburgh Steelers team a little bit. They're fans. I assume you're one of them. And I assume Tej feels the same way, even though you don't have to disclose your private conversations with them. They feel like they can go win a Super Bowl, man. And it's not just because TJ's great. In years past, it was like the record with TJ on the field, record with TJ off the field, record with good defense versus record with bad defense. The defense was just winning them games. And obviously, they're still going to need that. But the offense seemingly is efficient. Special teams doing their thing. They feel like they can go. Yinzers, do you feel that way about that Steelers team, and why?
I mean, they clearly look good this weekend, and they prove they can do it in a few different ways. Obviously, George Pickens being out for this game, and also it looks like possibly a little longer, they prove that they can find a way to win without him. And he's a stud. He's a great player. He's a phenomenal receiver. But they're finding different ways. We know their defense is good. We're clearly seeing Russ play at a level that is capable of making it very deep into the playoffs and potentially Super Bowl. So we'll see. They needed a big bounce back against this Cleveland Browns team after what happened a couple weeks ago when the Browns took it to them in that snow game. So this was great. I think they certainly have all the pieces, and they're going through a gauntlet these next few weeks with the 3 games in 10 days against some very, very good football teams. So them against the Eagles is going to be an incredible game this weekend.
Cam Hayward, Pat Freiermuth, great punt right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you got to see any of this Hard Knocks and how much of a leader this Cam Hayward's like a coach on the field with Tomlin? At what point do you get to that with a coach? And how do you feel about how does Teej feel about Cam and his presence on that particular defense?
Yeah, Cam is playing some of his best football. I think he's 36 years old. He's got 8 sacks. He's got like 55 tackles. I think he's got like 8 PBUs. He's just playing incredible football, and that's part of what comes with the knowledge and the experience that he has, is the ability to add all those things together, especially against the conference, the AFC North. But one cool thing that Tomlin does is he has a meeting every week with the leaders of the offense and the leaders of the defense, and it's just a small little additional meeting where he emphasizes certain things. So some of those coaching things that you're seeing are just extensions of Mike Tomlin, and it's a lot of fun to see. I saw Cam in the weight room with his son on Saturday, and it was just cool to see him in that element, seeing his son getting a little stretch and workout with him before the game. That's special stuff.
That could be a third-generation Steeler there you saw working out. Did early projections have the son's head to be gigantic like the Hayward family?
I think his bull rush will be strong and the head will be made of iron.
That's good for football. That's great for football there. Go ahead, AJ.
Jade, speaking of bull rushing, I don't know if you saw the clip came out of Mark Gastineau kind of confronting Brett Favre, saying he took a fall, I guess, giving Michael Strahan his sack record. Is this something that you pass rushers do? Are you like, verbally assaulting people that you feel like gave up easy sacks to other people?
And before you answer that question, because we have not chatted about this yet on the program, we should give full context for the situation. Mark Gastineau was at a collectibles or an autograph session that wasn't open to the public. It seemed to be behind the scenes. And he was being recorded or filmed. I don't know if he's making a documentary. And I guess it's the first time that he has seen Brett Favre. Brett Favre notoriously got sacked by Strahan. Strahan then set the single-season record for sacks and beat Gastineau. Here's Gastineau confronting Brett Favre.
I thought we met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
When you fell down for him. I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
We got to get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I guess Gastineau is making a 30 for 30, and obviously, this is incredibly uncomfortable. How do we get out of here? And I don't know what's going through Brett Favre's mind there in the entirety. Here's the play in which Strahan gets the record. It's fourth quarter, about to win a game, and the way the story is told is almost like Brett took the snap, went in front of Strahan, lays down, and just let Strahan kind of tap him. Mm-hmm. That appeared to be a situation where Strahan was going to sack Brett Favre, whether Brett Favre, who never went down or not. I don't think they could have handled a turnover. I think the game was over. But I think Strahan is going to end up tackling Brett Favre there regardless. I don't know the rest of the game. I don't know how it was going. But Gastineau obviously.
Come on.
What do you think,
man.
Jake? What do you think, Jake? What do you think?
I think Brett even said, like, he typed up a big long apology this morning or last night and wrote it out. And I believe he even said in there that was a running play that he pulled the ball on purpose there. He didn't confirm that it was 100% set up to be the sack record, but he all but said, I knew what was going on here. And it's any defensive lineman who's been anywhere remotely close to the sack record or who's had those thoughts or conversations knows. I mean, that was set up. Yeah. Like we all know that.
So Mark being pissed at Brett and letting him know, you're saying, because Brett also said in there, I understand what being a sack king could do in the collectibles market, autograph market. His post-playing career could be much, much more, financially beneficial if he was the guy who was tied atop or at the top of being the sack king. Now, TJ Watt would go and tie Strahan, so Tej would inevitably end up getting him. But I think Gaston, very furious there at Brett Favre. Do you think Brett Favre handled it properly? And how would you kind of go about mending fences if you're either side there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything you do now. I'm more shocked that that's the first time that they've met since that. I mean, it's been 20-something years now since that happened. So I'm shocked that that's the first conversation that they've had about it. But I don't think that players have problems with people breaking the records. At least I don't think you should, because you broke somebody else's record, and that's just the game goes on, and you should be happy for the person breaking your record because you know how difficult, you know how hard that can be. From the other standpoint, the business side, some of the stuff Brett was saying, I can understand that. I mean, there's definitely things that coming along with being the all-time sack leader and the all-time sack holder, and there's finances there. He talked about how back in the day, those guys didn't make the same truly life-changing money that we are making today. In some of those autograph shows, some of those signings, some of those things, he could have made a lot more money over the years. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. Do I think he laid down? Yes. Do I think that is a tough way to get a record? Yes. But it's more that it was intentional. I've got plenty of sacks in my career where the guy fell down. But when you kind of know that you're setting up a guy for that, it is a little different.
Yeah, I can see how Gaston's pissed. I can see that entire thing. I can see how Brett Favre and Strahan, though, have a moment there that they're never going to forget. And I think there's a chance now. I think Gaston has, what they say?
Dementia and Parkinson's, and he's in bad shape.
And Brett Favre also has
Parkinson's.
So you got what if they did just get into a fist fight there?
That'd be nuts.
Favre dummies him if they get into a fist fight.
I think so too. But the Favre going, you could hurt me. I think Favre did think there's about to be a real, because he goes for the handshake and there's nobody on either side. Gaston didn't even do it. Hey, I think we've met.
Pissed.
Okay.
When he said I'm getting my sack back, I'm obviously figurative, but
pause.
I think Brett for a second was he's going to sack me right here. Huh?
I wonder if Brett thought we're fist fighting. I think we're right.
He had to think he was joking at first. I think Brett had to.
I'm not sure.
It was a good play. It was a good play to go with the joke back, oh, you're going to hurt me, and then it just gave him more fuel.
How about it?
When they leave too, Favre's backing up, watching him. He's not backing up, just turning around to walk away.
Yeah, this guy's a wacko.
What?
That's what Favre's thinking. This guy's a wacko. We're at a freaking autograph show. He's coming up trying to get into a fight with me. That's the only thing. I mean, I get where JJ's coming from, because as a Packers fan too, that was the conversation. Favre laid down for this guy, let him have the record. But to come back and do the whole it's not in the moment Favre was you know what? Fuck Mark Gastineau. I'm going to lay down right here and give this to Strahan. So the whole, the career, how, I mean, maybe.
But I don't think it was malicious towards Mark Gastineau whatsoever. I think Brett and Strahan were very good friends, and he was, doing his friend a solid. So I don't think there was bad intent. But I can absolutely see how you'd be that'd be like a DB letting Calvin Johnson or somebody catch a touchdown uncontested to break a record. You're okay, is that actually a record?
That's at the end of games or seasons when somebody needs 4 more catches to get to a certain mile marker, and wide receivers are lining up at running back, and we got a swing pass. All right, swing pass. It's if it's for contractual reasons to hit escalators, cool. If it's to keep a historic streak going, I think there is always did it actually happen if we're kind of making it? Those kind of lines. Whenever it comes to being the greatest of all time, I assume Gaston had some real pent-up anger there for a long time.
It sounded like it's different if it's teammates. If you're forcing somebody, 4 or 5 catches, but if it's an opponent, if it's a pitcher, and they just throw a fat one right down the middle to break a home run record, or it's a DB, like you said, give up a touchdown. That's okay. Now you feel a little different because now you're not, respecting the game, and you had to bust your ass to get to whatever this record was. Teammates, coaches, hey, you need 4 more yards to get this, incentive or whatever. That's awesome. But as an opponent, you're always kind of so yeah, I definitely get it from
Gaston.
And that's
for sure.
That's a perfect point, DB, because I have no problem with your own teammates running TE stunts, ET stunts. You your teammates telling you, hey, you pass rush, you get in all game long. I don't care if you play the run. Go get that record. No problem with any of that. Like you said, it's just the opponent helping you out that makes it a little different.
A tackle going, hey.
Yeah, inside this time. What's this guy doing with his head?
Oh, wow. Good for you. You're welcome. Treasonous traitor. Gastineau's pissed.
Favre keeps
Can't get it back.
Killed.
Can't bring it back.
Brett Favre, yeah, if he keeps running, but they're saying it was supposed to be a run play, which I didn't know, and he pulled it himself to get out there to him. So, like, he was supposed to hand that ball off. We're going to run the clock out here. We're up 10.
Which, technically, if there's no receiver out in a route in today's world, they don't give you a sack for that. Like, if there's no receivers running routes, you don't get a sack for a run play turned into a pass.
Rules different then, of course, naturally. There was nobody running a route or anything. That wasn't just minus rush yards.
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
No one Favre.
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Favre might have been like, you know what? I might try to throw a 60-yard touchdown here. Like that is the type of guy he was.
Him taking the snap, he might be telling the backside tight end, like, hey.
Exactly. Yeah, just go. I'm going to throw another one.
Yeah,
here.
we're going to sneak one by these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strahan's big day? I don't think so. Strahan's going to crash like an idiot, and then I'm going to throw a deep shot. There's a chance that he was thinking that.
Exactly.
What if Brett said that in the moment? What are you talking about, guys? I was trying to throw a fucking touchdown.
Probably win an MVP.
What do you think this is? Yeah, right. I mean, I said I fell down because I was trying to be a nice guy.
He definitely didn't say in the moment, like, I didn't lay down. He did not deny the fact that he did it.
We would like to – we understand that they're both dealing with things mentally as you get older and physically as you get older. I would like to go on the record as stating I think Brett Favre wins the fight at this moment. If they were to fight, I would just like to let.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest here. I gotta be honest here. I thought that you got told by somebody in your ear, like, "Hey, you can't do mental health stuff. Like, you got to go apologize." I was waiting for like an apology or like a mental health moment there, and you just took it to a
you think Zito or Foxy or Nick in the back is like, "Hey, you're gonna have to apologize. You're gonna have to apologize." So what do you?
I don't know, but I was ready for like mental health's not something to joke about.
No, it is not. By the way, mental health is not something to joke about. It is very, very serious. So, but with their illnesses that they have, both attacking their brain and their bodies, because they're older, we have to take that for what it is. If they were to physically fight each other, I've seen Brett Favre.
I was gonna say
his forearms.
Yeah. He's pretty jacked in that. I don't know when that was filmed. When was that filmed? I don't know if that's super recent, but Brett's pretty jacked.
Like Gaston, we understand why you're mad. As we talk through it, I think we're all kind of like, all right, we can see why you would certainly be upset. But I don't. That was in 2023. I don't think you want to tango with Brett Favre.
No, Brett still got it.
Well, you saw his. Did you see his arm?
Brett is 55 years old currently, and Gaston is 68.
Yeah, so he's got a 13-year head start, and also I don't know if Gastineau is hitting the weights as much as Brett Favre has.
That's right.
Brett Favre is. He might be at peak physical condition whenever we saw him at that golf tournament.
Yeah.
You're talking about calves, just his
forearms so big.
He had a 3-wood, like 340 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like unbelievable watching. He looked like Popeye.
He did.
He looked like he had a gray beard. He looked like actual Popeye. And just Gastineau needs to know that next time. Yeah. Brett, I don't know if Brett Favre's throwing any punches these days. I think he's past that. But if he thought there for a second.
He has to.
I mean, I think Gastineau could eat about 20 of them before he drops.
You think Brett Favre?
Favre punch?
I mean, he puts that copper fit elbow sleeve on with the Wranglers.
Damn, good point.
I mean, it's game over.
We'd like to see those two work it out, though. Sorry that happened to you, Gastineau.
Also, we just learned some more information. Mark Gastineau went on to become a professional boxer after his football career.
Yeah.
Hold the phone.
Okay.
Hold the phone.
From 1991 to 96.
Hold the phone.
15 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest.
So he's 60 what now? 8? That was in 91?
1-9 by knockout.
So what's that, 33 years ago? So that was he's in his 30s? He was boxing?
Only takes one.
Yeah, but he's got the slide too. If he's got that.
He knows where the button is.
Yeah, if he's doing one of these and Brett just like, what do you want? He's
Favre ain't no spring chicken either. That man can eat a punch.
Yeah, you're right. He's done that.
Yeah.
In the past. Has he taken any boxing? I assume.
Probably. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Karate at least.
Yeah. Taekwondo maybe.
Brett Favre's taking karate at least one time.
The art.
What's so funny? Why is everybody laughing? You don't
Just
think Brett
karate.
Favre's taking
Just saying karate. I want to see Brett in karate class.
Imagine
the
Brett
dojo.
in the gi.
Dude, him, boom,
Yeah.
through the wood.
Yep.
He would be able to do that, no problem.
Yeah.
Remember, and I've said this before, back in the day, if you had a friend that knew karate and you guys were out and about, you were good. Now that is nothing.
Nah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Karate is nothing.
Jiu-jitsu.
One of those little ears shows up. It's like karate. We ain't got it. Now there is some.
One of those ears.
Cauliflower ears.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, they're definitely.
You know it. Knew exactly what he was
We got
talking
some
about.
more info. Allegedly, some of Gastineau's fights were fixed.
Okay. All right.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Once again,
Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, fixing sacks, fixing fights. Gastineau's story. All right, I'm back on Brett's side. I'm back because Brett, Brett's fixing,
Yeah.
to go ahead and get this guy out of his face. Here's Gastineau, a little different then than he is now. He's on the left side, I do believe. Nice little uppercut, holding a hand. 6 rounds, heavyweight fight here.
Who's he fighting?
In Reno, Nevada.
Put your hands up, Mark.
He's got
Lee Bergen.
Lee Bergen has signed up to fight Mark Gastineau, who's second.
Footwork.
Gastineau's 8-0 at this point. He goes from sacking quarterbacks to knocking out bland-looking whites. He can come to your town and do it for you. Gastineau, little jab, chin check.
Packed house.
He's the first Jake Paul.
Yeah, and look, he's leaning
Who,
away.
Lee Bergen?
He's got to be like 20 pounds heavier, right?
Lee Bergen here, both heavyweights. Lee Bergen decided to come up from middleweight to fight in this heavyweight matchup against Gastineau. 160 versus 245. 5'8 versus 6'4. This is one of the first rounds of Mike Tyson's punch-out game. Gastineau going for a haymaker.
Heavy ball.
Lee Bergen hugs him up. Guy in the button down behind it says, how are these two matched up against each other? Man with the beard who's a judge says this is certainly an unfair fight when it comes to weight advantage, height advantage, looks advantage, and skill seemingly. Gastineau on a he wanted to throw the big right, didn't he? Lee Bergen's chin was waiting on him. Is this a first-round knockout, or do we have a full
He
fight?
hit him with a shoulder.
Okay, if this is nowhere near ending, we are done.
Just go the distance.
We do watch the whole thing here.
What are we doing here?
Gastineau, we're sorry that happened to you, dude. Sorry that happened to you.
Sorry.
Brett wasn't thinking of you at all whenever it all happened.
No.
But Brett is thinking about you now. He's in there on the bump.
Yeah.
How would you explain that clip to somebody that doesn't know football when he says, I want my sack back?
I don't know. Because he would
Everyone doesn't know what football is.
He would be second, right? He would be second.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Scroll back.
Jeez.
Scroll back. All right, here we go. 38 seconds left in round one. Lee Bergen seems to be tired. He's a little bit wobbly. He's on his heels, more so than his toes, trying to fight his way to the bell. Gastineau on the button. Right hand, left hand, humps him out of the ring. This one's over. TKO for Gastineau.
Hey, boy, Mark.
That's baby Mark.
Put that guy in the Hall of Fame. Got 20 sacks in the season twice. I saw that in Brett Favre's entire thing. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame, but if he was the sack king, he would have been in the Hall of Fame already.
He's not in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Oh, boy.
Not in the Hall of Fame, doesn't do.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad for
Okay,
this.
Mark, I get you.
We don't love it, Gastineau, but we will let you know we're on your side. But also, I don't think Brett did this well on purpose.
No.
People said he did other stuff, but not this.
Sure. No. A lot of memes about that when this came out.
Figure that out.
Let's hashtag Ask Jage. Ty has a question for you.
Jage, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Just curious, if you're a player and all the Dan Campbell stuff's going on, I assume you love that, but does that change at all being a defensive guy as opposed like when the offense is just continually going for it? Now, they've been successful quite a bit, but a lot of people are saying, hey, it's going to come back and bite them in the ass at some point when it really matters.
Yeah, I think you love it until it bites you in the ass. I think it's one of those things that nothing fires you up more than your coach believing in the team, and when the team executes and accomplishes it, and they're tough, physical, they're being the embodiment of everything that he says. So you love that. And the more that it works, the more confident you get in it and the more you love it. But then it's just a matter of if it beats you at one point in the biggest moment, like that is where all of a sudden it's like that Step Brothers clip where it's like, I taste ketchup. You know what? Now the suits are seeming a little fucked up. You know, Like, now something's a little off here. So I do think it's great, and I do think it was awesome that it worked out. I did not know until I was watching the show here that Jared Goff wanted to play, because I love now thinking about what was going through his head as he dropped to a knee. Like, I asked for this. I better get this ball there. But it worked, so it goes. But you got to live by the sword, die by the sword. When that sword flips the other way, that's a tough conversation to have, especially if it's in the playoffs.
Certainly a tough conversation to have, and they'll have it potentially all offseason, or maybe in the Super Bowl. It'll be a 4th and 2. And, Patrick Mahomes will be on the other side. And there'll be about 1:40 left.
Oh, yeah.
The Chiefs will have one timeout. It'll be a tie ball game. Yep. Do they choose to kick the field goal there and go and take the lead? Or do they say we can't give Patrick Mahomes the ball back in the Super Bowl, and they go for it? And Ben Johnson draws up something ridiculous and spectacular. And maybe Ragnow catches it for a first down. Is that how it goes? Or does it go, they try that, they throw a ball.
No.
It hits Ragnow in the face. Ragnow off his face.
No.
Somebody on Chiefs defense catches it, sprints down, understands the situation, slides at the 2, kneel it out. All of a sudden, Butker comes out, hits his second game-winning Super Bowl kick, and the Detroit Lions do Detroit Lions shit and embarrass themselves on the biggest stage. Either of those are feasible.
Very.
Both possible, yes, but I like the first one much more. And also, if it came out that Dan Campbell kicked the field goal, we lose the game, and Jared Goff wanted to go for it, we would be scorched earth all week. And as a fan, I would be so worried about what the hell is going on with MCDC. So I love it. Let's continue to do it until the Super Bowl and win that thing.
I like Jared Goff doing the, come on. He didn't want to be too dramatic, right? Didn't want to cause too much of a scene. And as that timeout was called, he ran to the sideline, got a ball, and threw it. That was like what he did immediately. He threw a ball. So I was like, is he trying to bluff that they're going to go for this? And then we find out like he wanted, hey, we are going for this.
Watch this, coach.
This is how this is going to go. I love it with them. But speaking of them, this weekend, good, Con, man.
Yeah, Jage, in Detroit this weekend, I believe the Bills are coming to town. I believe you'll be there. Do you think that game is going to go similar to that Packers game where coming down the last possession, MCDC's got to go for it on 4th down? Or do you think anything changes when the Lions are playing a team like Buffalo?
I'm hoping we get a game like we just got with the Bills, with the high scoring, back and forth, points going crazy. That would be a lot of fun. It would be a blast to watch. We obviously have the whole CBS crew, the NFL Today crew going there.
Oh, I like on site?
On site in Detroit.
That's great.
Sunday.
That's great.
Foxy, I need some things. Give me what does the crowd want to hear? What gets them riled up? What's the chants?
Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. That's it, right?
That's it, 100%. No matter what the sporting event is. When the Tigers were in the playoffs, JJ, there was a tweet that went viral, and it said we got to stop doing the Jared Goff chants at Tigers games, Pistons games, Michigan State games, and everyone absolutely roasted this person. They said, no, you don't get it. The Jared Goff chants are an embodiment of what Detroit is, so that's the only chant you need to know.
Yeah, because he was cast aside, thrown to Detroit. Yep. This guy stinks, overpaid. Now there's a rebirth, just like the city of Detroit.
Bingo.
So it's not just a name. It's not just the quarterback. It's the movement that's happening there in that city. And you can feel it, and it radiates through town. Jared Goff. Jared Goff. I think you should also bring up all the success that all the other teams are having, right?
Just stick to football for now.
Oh, okay.
Stick to football.
Are you sure?
Nah, hockey, don't worry about it yet. The boys are focused on the Lions, the Pistons. They're trying, stick to football.
Okay.
New cabinet member?
What's that?
Bob Ritchie.
Oh, yeah. Kid Rock, I guess you could bring up maybe. You'll figure it out. I think you'll be able to.
I'm just going to rap Eminem lyrics the whole show.
That's not a bad idea.
It's going to be a lot of Mom Spaghetti. R.I.P.
I think it's recipes of, but Mom Spaghetti still exists. There is a restaurant. You can stop by there and say, I had some spaghetti. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Nailed it. Really good. Really good. Really good. Jared Goff is the champ. Jared Goff is the champ.
Yeah, we'll get that going. We'll get the people going, get them riled up.
And the thing about the Jared Goff chant is you got to talk about Jared Goff a lot. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to, just be like the quarterback that they get from the Los Angeles Rams that everybody says, this guy stinks. He was actually third string for the Los Angeles Rams at the end of his run. His name is Jared Goff. Jared Goff. They'll just go. And then you get right back into it. But since getting matched up with MCDC and out here in Holmes and the environment and the vibes and the attitudes of the Detroit Lions with Ben Johnson, Jared Goff. They'll start doing it. Every time you say his name, if you just think, okay, if I just hit a little rhythm here, these people will certainly echo the sentiment. And obviously there's a time where too much is happening and you've gone too far, but then there's that happy medium, and we know you'll figure it out, JH. We know.
You don't know where the line is unless you push up against it every now and again,
Yeah, that LSU one, I really tried my best to get. I passed the line.
That was a great one.
Suck that tiger dick, man. That's wild.
It's great.
Little kids.
Wild chick.
One of the best.
Little kids, 75-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the LSU football. This is what it is down here. We're going to have a good time. They don't call it Death Valley for nothing. You think we're just saying, go team? Okay. I don't think that's the case. All right, JH. Aside from that.
I got to give you credit, too. The West Virginia black polo got the guns looking nice. It fits accordingly.
Thank you. Been working on them. Got to start doing cardio, though. I'm getting winded too quick. So I'm going to add that into my resume here at some point, into my regime. I'm going to try my best to get after it. Because we got guys in this office that run 2 miles, 5 miles every single day. Connor's on that Stairmaster. How many floors?
None now.
At least 50.
Don't give up hope. Just
don't just back down, man. Have a little bit of a spine. Stand up and say, "I'll show you."
Sick of doing it.
Back down.
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody likes doing it.
Your ground.
Good song.
Okay.
Absolutely. This has been fun.
Connor, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, Connor.
Yeah.
You won't back down. And you know what you'll do? And you'll stand your ground. Proud of you.
Proud of you,
You got it, Con, man. You got it.
Can't give up hope because we learned a little piece of information about potential war about to pop off.
No doubt.
Be like your sweatshirt. Gold teeth out front.
Sure.
I guess that's not what that says.
There you go.
Be like your sweatshirt.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna.
Jage, aside from the Bills-Lions game, what game are you looking forward to this weekend? How about the Colts-Broncos? You worried about the Houston Texans maybe taking a little bit of a slide and the Indianapolis Colts continuing to get hot? They got to beat the Broncos because the Broncos are currently holding the super wild card spot. Is there any other games that you're looking at this weekend as ones that are must-watch? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or Pittsburgh, obviously. The Battle of Pennsylvania, huge. Anything else that we need to look at? Because last week's slate kind of crop. This week, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, no, not worried about the Colts at all. So all good there. Obviously the Steelers, Eagles, the Battle of Pennsylvania, two really good teams. Just can't wait to see how that matchup goes. I don't know if it's because I grew up in Wisconsin or there's just been a bunch of these games lately in the last 10 years or whatever. But the Packers, Seahawks, for some reason, even though they're not divisional opponents or anything, that matchup always intrigues me. I think it takes me back to the refs, like when we had the fake refs or whatever we had. But there just seems to have been a bunch of matchups between the Packers and Seahawks, and somehow it always seems to be a great game. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay, me too. I like what this Seahawks.
Am I wrong there, or does this seem like a common matchup?
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Seahawks, though. I mean, that McDonald story over there, covering up the wall. First, they kick Pete out, kick him out. Pete said he went in there and fought for his job, right? You know what he said?
Yeah,
Competed. I competed for my job.
Yeah, did a whole presentation about what he would do, how he would fix it. I think we've learned more information about it as it's kind of gone on. Pete has kind of relayed the message of how it went over there. They basically kick him out. They bring in McDonald. They paint over the Legion of Boom. It's a new era. We got to do this entire thing. And then, how's it going to go? We don't know. Stumble. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, this team's winning games. McDonald, I think, got his culture in there. I think they feel as if they're in it because that NFC West was very, very tight for a while. They're starting to pull away. They got a big one, I think, against the Rams last week of the season, potentially.
Yeah, tomorrow night, prime time. Never mind.
That's Rams-Niners, I believe.
What we're talking about.
What's that?
That's the game we're talking about, the Seahawks-Packers. We just talked about it.
Yeah, but Rams-Niners is tomorrow, I believe, which will have huge implications on the NFC West. And the Seahawks seemingly control their destiny if they want to keep going. They've been winning a lot of games. We don't talk about them ever. Nobody talks about them.
This is kind of the prove how good they are, though, because they have Packers Sunday night, then they have the Vikings following week, and then I don't know who they play the third week, but then they end the season with the Rams. So it's like their end of the schedule here is quite the gauntlet.
Shout out to the NFC West. Shout out over
Is
there.
Pete also not getting talked about nearly as much as you would think he might be in coaching carousel, or am I missing something here?
I thought about this yesterday, actually. Bill Belichick came on our program and pitched how he would run a college operation. Did you hear this?
No.
Okay, so he basically laid out like why he is actually in a position.
Yes, I did hear this. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's okay. He laid out why he is in a good spot to be in college right now. You know, like, hey, this is basically an NFL team you're running. You need a GM, you need a head coach, you need a director of player personnel, you need to be able to allocate funds, you need to be able to construct a roster. Then he compared, what college has versus what the NFL has. The draft is like the recruiting the high schoolers, and then veteran free agency is transfer portal. And then his pitch, because AJ asked him about recruiting, he was like, I'm basically just going to tell him that this is a pipeline to the NFL. If you want to make it to the NFL, I'm going to teach you how to be a professional. I'm going to teach you how to play the position you're supposed to play, and basically it's going to be a life camp as well about attention to detail in learning and moving. So as I laid on that, I'm like, man, there's NFL guys are probably going to feel good going into this. Pete Carroll feels like a guy that has obviously dealt with business before in the NFL. I think he had some say over general manager moves and roster construction and everything like that. He's been in college before. It's like with where college ball is heading, I think those NFL experienced dudes who have been a part of the business and the head coaching part have quite an advantage if they just want to get back into ball. And I'm not saying Pete doesn't deserve an NFL job if he wants an NFL job or whatever it is, but it's like I think Pete could also slide into a college job with the way it is and be very comfortable and successful at this time. I thought about that yesterday, so good call. Nobody's talking about him.
But if you think about it, man, if you truly don't have an opportunity in the NFL and you want to go into college, no doubt. But just think about how much extra stuff you have to do as a college coach versus an NFL coach. I mean, you have to have a meeting with the academic advisors talking about classes and who missed class. You have class checkers, who's in class, are they failing, are they passing? When you got to go recruit guys and go into their home and fly into all these cities and go visit these recruits and be in their houses, you got to write the handwritten letters. I get today's world, you just pay them cash and nobody gives a shit about a handwritten letter when you got $2 million coming in the door. But you still have to do so much more shit than you have to do in the NFL.
So Coach Prime has obviously made the transition to being Colorado's head coach effortless, seemingly, after a couple years here of success, and then also getting Juju out of Georgia to commit to Colorado, perfect timing to take it over. But I don't think he's ever done an in-house recruiting visit. I think he does a lot of it via FaceTime and Zoom. And whenever you talk about academic people, director of player personnel's job is to make sure that the academics all get handled. Director of player personnel reports to, I guess coach or GM. But it's like he handed a 400-page thing over to UNC.
A lot of pages.
Here's how this is going. Academics, director of player personnel is going to deal with that. Director of player personnel doesn't have our team graduating, will be replaced. It's like, I think they're going to set it up like.
But he did a lot of those jobs in the NFL. He was the GM. He was the head coach. He was those guys. Yeah, but he's going to delegate it out. I get it. I'm not an idiot here. But at the end of the day, that is still something that's on your plate that is not on your plate in the NFL.
I know what you're saying because I feel the same way. I was like, how's Bill going to recruit any 17-year-old? Why would he give a shit about any of these 17-year-olds? But I think with the way he thinks it's going to be just like definitely recruiting, but also, hey, here's his comps money-wise. Here's what we project you to be. You're either with us or you're not. And then he's going to move on. I think he's going to treat it just like he would the NFL. Will it work? I don't know. Prime obviously has the ability to get into any house. Any family likes Prime. Any of them. You go into, I think he's even talked about who he wants on his team at what positions. You go into any neighborhood, Coach Prime is respected and appreciated and liked. I wonder if the Belichick name will be the same. I do wonder if he'll be able to get into any conversation.
Wear 6 rings, or 8 rings, whatever he's got. You open some doors.
That's what I'm saying. I do wonder if all that shit that we hear about that is miserable in the college coaching world, if he's able to bypass a lot of it because of who he is and how he's going to set it up. I don't know. We don't know if it's going to be successful or not.
Well, I've been thinking about this too, the recruiting piece, but he's going to either, you kind of just have to learn, guess what? You have to recruit. Otherwise, like, this is going to be a huge laughing stock. You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm not going to fucking recruit. Like, you have to. So, like, he's obviously got all that, but he can't just, like, completely discount, because then North Carolina's not going to be worth the shit.
IMG Academy, we all assume that's going to be a one-way trip.
Exactly.
He was already at those games, the IMG games. He's a big fan of the coach. I assume he's going to have relationships built there. I remember he goes to all those pro days anyways whenever he's NFL coach, so he probably has relationships with a lot of places. I'd assume with high school coaches it'll be the same. I assume he'll be able to – Bill Belichick wants to come to your practice or come check out your school. I assume he'll be able to do it. But how much time in a day does he have? I don't know. Good luck, Bill, if you do it. All right, Jage, we saw you retweet Lil Fuego. We knew you were super excited about hashtag AskJage today. Didn't put out the full call, so we didn't get as many answers. We apologize to Lil Fuego. We do apologize to JJ Watt. We do appreciate the fact that you retweeted this and was like, yeah, we would like to do this. We didn't catch it till late. We weren't able to amplify it. We didn't get enough responses. We will going forward. But since Lil Fuego wants it, you got it. It's time to hashtag AskJage with some of these Convo Q questions. Now, Jage, you know the rules. All you got to do is tell me to stop in this pile, and I'll ask you one of the questions. We hope you're
Ooh.
Jage, I'm hashtag AskJage-ing Jage right now. Who has taught you something, and what did they teach you? It's a good question. Who's somebody that taught you something? What did they teach you?
Great question.
Bill Kolar, my defensive line coach, my rookie year in Houston, more or less through tough learning, taught me not to be a dumbass.
Thank you, Coach.
He was very, very tough on me. I hated football for a good chunk of my rookie year because he was so hard on me and so tough on me and made it my life a living hell. But he made me much better because of it, and I'm a better football player and probably person. So I appreciate it, Bill.
Thank you, Coach Kolar.
Oh, yeah, Coach.
Way to go, Bill. He knew you had it in you. He just wanted to find it, and that's what good coaches do. All right, one more. Tell me when to stop. If you had a pet other than the pets that you currently have, what type of pet would it be, and what would you name it?
Lion, for sure. Name it Atlas.
Wow. You've thought about this. You've tried?
Just do it. No, I've looked. I looked into a badger once, just to see what that. And people have done it, and it was a big mistake.
Yeah.
What about lions? People have done that too. I watched Tiger King.
I've also watched Tiger King, and I agree. I want to walk him around, and it didn't. I don't want to look like Joe Exotic. I don't want to.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
I watched a chimp one too. Did you watch a chimp one?
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with the chimps. Listen, the chimps are a real deal.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, and they got ideas too on how the house should be run. So
yeah, that was pretty wild.
Have you seen the documentary where they tell the people that are visiting the one, I think it's orangutan or maybe chimpanzee sanctuary, they say you got to go shake the hand of the leader before you go in there. So, got to shake the hand and, go in, head down, handshake. And then all of a sudden the chimpanzee or orangutan just, grabs hand and is like, okay, yeah, you're good. I can come in. It's like kiss the ring, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You come in this place. That would be a nightmare, just because they know you. We walk by the orangutan exhibit down here at the Indianapolis Zoo. Beautiful place, Indianapolis Zoo. They spend a lot of money to make sure these animals are living a good life.
Sure.
They put in an orangutan exhibit, a lot of glass walls, and I think whenever it rains or it's bad weather, they kind of have to come inside. There's multiple spots they can come inside, but if they get trapped in one of these sides, boy, it's really close quarters with the people walking through. And those orangutans are looking at you right in your eyeballs, and they're letting you know that they are not happy.
Help us.
Then they just dump all over themselves. And then you think to yourself, wow, if I was in there, it would rip my head off right now. Yeah. They have super strength. So yeah, let's not fuck with the chimpanzees.
Nope.
Let's not have pet orangutans.
Not smart.
Or pet chimpanzees. What's that one monkey though that is a pet that people have from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
Spider monkey, little one,
macaque.
Little one.
No,
I don't think macaques.
Definitely not the macaque.
Macaques are going to try to take over your house, and then obviously we know what they're going to do to your baby maker.
Chimps.
Capuchin?
Capuchin.
I could see AJ
Shout out
have one. AJ might already have one.
I don't want to do. I'd change my kids' diapers. I'm not changing some little guy's diapers.
Yeah, true.
I feel like AQ knows somebody who has one. Not that
For
he
sure.
has one himself.
I knew somebody that had a Capuchin. I knew somebody.
Former teammate?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, me too.
What up?
I could have one.
The Capuchin was a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not every day, but from my understanding is there comes a day where said Capuchin is the alpha of the house now. And inevitably there's going to have to be some sort of clash.
Battle.
To see who.
Do we have a photo?
Of these are Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the little.
Yeah, like this big, right? Yeah,
yeah, they're cute, right? They're really.
What are we thinking? Yeah, what are we thinking? Like, truthfully, AJ locked in a cage, you in a Capuchin, you winning?
Oh, this little guy, yeah. I'll kick his head right off, but I don't know how big they get.
So I actually heard a story about somebody kicking one of these down a hallway. Yeah, because there was a stare down. From my understanding of the story, once again, I was not there. Capuchin was family pet, very much beloved by whole family. And then one day, Capuchin woke up and said, "This is my fucking house now." And I guess daughter found out first. There was a little bit of interaction by Capuchin. And then dad, end of hallway, looking at other end of hallway. And I guess there was just a stare down with Capuchin. And there was like one of those down the hall, and then there was a full clash. And I believe the kick was the move. And then I think tail throw into cage.
Yeah, tail throw. Definitely tail throw.
Tail throw into cage, I guess. And then I don't know if that thing ever left the cage again.
Tail throw into outer space.
No, well, Capuchin was family pet there before that moment, and I think that is the fear with these monkeys is they will any moment. It's no longer it's not our house anymore. It is my house. I would love to have a little pet orangutan. Imagine one of those things just walking around.
Be cool.
That'd be so cool.
Too smart.
Get Rocky. Rocky's doing well. But take him.
But you said too smart?
Too smart, too strong.
That's what I'm saying. I got a little AI walking around with me. Like knows that when I want my phone, knows when I want a little drink.
Yeah.
Gives me a tap, says something's over here, just kind of walking around me. Like Ben and Peter.
Sure.
Have an orangutan just walking around. But I know, even if we have the best relationship of all time and we're on the same page, there's going to come a day where that orangutan's going to be walking next to me, grab both of my legs and snap them in half.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's over. And then it probably pees on me and walks away. And it just has to do that.
Yeah,
because
I ain't your butler no more.
No more bananas?
That's all I'm doing. I'm just giving bananas all day like this. But one day, not enough bananas. And then both of my legs are broken.
Yeah.
And then maybe a rear naked choke.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to say, let him go. What's the problem? We thought you liked them. And you just say, no banana. And I'm dead.
Yeah.
Let's get to a break. Jage, thanks for today. That was good. Hashtag Ask Jage. Sorry we didn't get the whole internet in on it. That's on us. Little Fuego needs to let us know next time.
Yeah.
Very well.
Come on, little fire.
Thanks.
What do you got the rest of the day? Where are you at right now? This is a different place. You're always in a different place.
Nice tree.
I'm in Wisconsin right now. I'm in Wisconsin. It's just starting to snow outside. I'm probably going to get a little workout in and then hang out with my son, play around, and just enjoy the day.
What about frozen lakes? You doing any of those?
The lake is not frozen yet. I could jump in. Not frozen yet. I could jump in.
Still cold though. It's still cold.
Very cold.
Still cold.
Do the trick.
Yeah, maybe you. No, Co's too young. Don't
If
forget.
the Wi-Fi worked, I'd take you down right now and jump in there.
Oh, maybe one other day we'll get to experience the lake. What a life! Good for you. You're the man.
I'm bummed out.
That's pretty good delivery. You're almost the answer. Sarah's candy. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt.
Yeah, Jay.
All right, let's get to a break on the other side. We got everything DB, good D, bad D.
sir.
We got into the trenches, top 5 performing offensive lines, and we got a great hour. Hey, we were going to hammer down time. Let's talk about the state of college ball right now and if there's any updates. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5. If you're the NCAA and you're sitting in that stupid office in Indianapolis where we happen to live, it's a great city. It's a great town. And there's a dumb institution that is ruling over college football. Because if you don't want these people dancing,
Interception, bitches.
What's up? Is that the president's name?
Oh, that's Kurt Signatic.
Do we like the NCAA? Do we like Pat? Do we love the Dukes? I wish when I was asked, like, why did you punt? I could say my subcommittee recommended I punt. Talk your shit. This guy's hot. This guy's hot.
We'll see you in the next hour. I say today, we take a stand against the NCAA. Let them bowl.
Let them bowl. Amen.
Rest in peace, Dale. Moment of silence for Dale Earnhardt. Moment has passed. Thank you, Dale. This one's for 3. AJ Hawk, $5,000. This has been one of the coolest moments of my entire professional life. JMU! Thank you so much for the hospitality. JMU! You understand quickly that there's idiots making decisions in every single place that you would never guess idiots would be making decisions. You don't think bowl season deserves to have this situation cooking behind it? College football is better because JMU's football is crushing. College is better because what their football team is doing. The community is better. And the NCAA, yet again, adds to their long list of decisions. Look at that scene, bro, in the hills of Virginia. You know what? To hell with all of them. James Madison, right here. Right here. That chef looks damn good. I'd eat that guy's meat any day of the week. If you're able to bury this 33-yard field goal, kicking is easy is what you have said to kickers before. Others have on the internet. Now, 90 racks on the line. We believe. Oh! Kill the kid! Kill the kid! Our worst kid yet! 100 racks of charity. This dog stinks! And that's that the JMU are going to crush App State. They would crush anybody this weekend, especially in this city with how dumb the NCAA is. Let them bowl and let the boys dominate today.
In my Constitution, I have the First Amendment right to free speech. Pat has the Second Amendment right to take its sleeves off and show the bare arms all the time. But I'm saying, if we are so lucky to go undefeated this year, and we end up winning in a bowl game, if we get in, I'm going to use my First Amendment to declare the JMU Dukes national champions. Like UCF. I'm just going to say it, and come and stop me. Time to go.
I'm jacked. I love it's working. All of it's working.
They'll have one loss because App State is beating JMU Mountaineers, baby. They're gonna dog shit all over this dumb place. App State forever. Yeah, fuck you too. How about that?
Wow.
Nobody's picking Georgia.
As a lot of people have said up here, this game's already been played, and who won? Who's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Mean machine in red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land. Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go dogs. Go dogs. Go dogs. Sick 'em.
Is that it? Is that it? Is that it?
Is that the final?
Does that mean you're picking Georgia?
Oh, no.
Is that it?
What are you doing? This Texas team is built with so much money. Steve Sarkisian pinned over here in his tight-ass pants. I picked against this Texas Longhorns team last week. How could I ever do it again? Well, we're in the Peach State, and your dogs are barking. Give me Georgia to win the SEC championship. Welcome to the SEC, Sark. It was cute. Bulldogs by a million.
Because I said easy.
This guy sucks. This guy's the worst of all time.
Almost.
Timmy.
Corbin, that was good.
Who's the worst we've ever seen?
Hey.
I think you're nervous in front of Bob Dylan.
No.
I think that's probably.
No. One more shot. One more.
You want the Texas guy to get one more kick? All right, how about this? Kirk Herbstreit said he'll match another $200,000. I will as well. This is an $800,000 kick, Corbin.
Yeah.
This guy's got no shot.
Come on, Harry.
Come on, Herbie. Timmy, you want a match?
Yeah, I'll get in there too.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Is that 1.2?
Yeah, it is.
$1.2 million kick.
Yeah. Holy hell.
Let's go.
Everything just got very real all of a sudden. That first attempt was god-awful. But now you got a $1.2 million operation. All you got to do is kick the ball through those uprights. This looks shorter than 33 yards. Stanford.
Is that legally binding?
Yeah.
That's a legally binding offer.
Yeah, we got you,
You're
Timmy.
the lawyer, Corbin. Is that a real offer?
Yeah, it is. It's on camera.
It is? Okay.
Hey, bro, somehow he got under that ball.
Yeah, he said it was like a 9-iron. That was more like a duff of a wedge, bub.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try to maybe bring out the 1-iron.
On one hand, we've never seen
1.2 million.
Come on, Corbin.
1.2.
Holy hell. That's a lot of money. You're a lawyer, you live nice, you wear suits, but 1.2 million could change a lot of things. On SEC Championship Saturday in Atlanta for $1 million. That got pretty expensive. That was too close. Thought we got hustled. Bob Dylan coming out on Christmas. The movie's supposed to be Oscar-worthy. Thankfully stopped by. Herbstreit's awesome. Reese, that got a little bit of nerve-wracking there for a few moments. Back to you.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me.
It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over and
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a
naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome.
on this White Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now.
Football
is awesome. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. A man who's a 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, coming in a matter of moments. Darius J. Butler.
Yes,
Thank you much.
It is. Go Army, beat Navy.
I almost wonder, your father obviously in the Army, ties to the Army, I believe, born on a...
Army base, yep. Frankfurt, Germany.
So, Guten Tag.
Yep.
Nine.
You have a good one too, yep.
So you do know what it was.
American base.
It was America in Germany, which is America still America everywhere, or did we lose some water? Is there?
No. That's still ours.
Okay, all right.
And we're coming.
All right, yeah. We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Anyways, the man who normally sits there, Pittsburgh Steeler helmet right there, I appreciate him being a Steeler fan. But him not putting the Army-Navy thing up almost makes me think, like...
Gotta wonder.
Interesting.
Wow, does this guy hate America?
What side is he?
No.
Because as soon as you sat up there, you're like, you know what? Give me the Army-Navy one. I'd like to show a little love. That game's this weekend. Nobody's really talking about it.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that one, especially these times. They need these boys more than ever.
Not my decision. Not my
gals.
decision. Not my decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a voice from Hammer Dahn. We will hear from in a matter of moments. 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley. Now, before we head over to the man who hates America, apparently.
No.
Sounds like
Tone.
What do you? How do you feel about that, AJ? He said, "Not
That's
my."
shocking. Shocking because he always played this character like, oh, I love America, America first, and now to learn different is actually kind of disappointing.
That is heartbreaking. Don't meet your favorite.
Tone's such a kind-hearted, nice guy too. The fact that he doesn't like this country's tough.
It's unbelievable. What's going on over there in Hammer?
Dahn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Now he puts it on.
Yeah, slip in the Air Force. Smart. Gonna need them. You're gonna need them. Looks like it fits perfectly too. It looks like it fits like a glove. There, Tone.
Yep.
USA.
Got it. USA.
Yeah, you did great. You're right, Tone. Before we get to whatever you were about to talk about there, and we certainly need it, especially in the time that we're in, we wanted to inform the world that you would think that we'd be talking about the 12-team playoff every single day.
Of course.
And it feels like there has been a little bit of a lack of conversation about it, the excitement, because it doesn't kick off until next Friday. And then all of a sudden, ESPN puts together a commercial, and it brings us right back to the fact that we are in the greatest time in the history of college ball.
We're mixing things up, it's about time. More schools get a shot to shine. It's more games and a lot more fun. Starting with 12, counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. That's how we crown a CFP national champion. Conference champs keep the dream alive. 1 through 4 get a first round bye. 5 to 8 host 9 to 12. Winners move on and the crowds all yell. Quarterfinals,
New Year's 6.
Bowls on a rotating basis. Could be your all-time favorite team or somebody new bursting on the scene. We're mixing things up, it's about time. More schools get a shot to shine. It's more games and a lot more fun. Starting with 12 down to 1.
We crown a CFP champion. Woo, woo.
Come on now.
All right, that was your first time. Let's run it back.
Thank you.
Let's run it back. Get a second time at it. Because your first time you think to yourself, wow, that was crop. How is that supposed to be for college football fans? How is that supposed to get you excited for a 12-team playoff? How did the company that spent billions and billions of dollars on this college football playoff go with that as the commercial? That's your first thought as soon as you see it. But then, run it back one more time.
We're mixing things up, it's about time. More schools get a shot to shine. It's more games.
We saw it already.
No, but hold on. Down to 1.
Crank it in.
How we crown a CFP football champions. How we crown a CFP national champion.
Conference champs keep the dream alive.
1 through 4 get a first round bye.
5 to 8 host 9 to 12. Winners move on and the crowds all yell.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals,
New Year's 6.
Bowls on a rotating basis. Could be your all-time favorite team. Or somebody new bursting on the scene. We're mixing things up. It's about time. More schools get a shot to shine. It's more games and a lot more fun.
Starting with 12 and down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion. Not bad the second time, isn't it?
True. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't have a very positive outlook after the first watch. Now I love it. This thing's awesome.
Starting with 12, counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion.
Okay, here we go.
One more time. He needs it one more time.
No, come on, now.
Third time it really slaps, AJ.
The more you hear it, this is just like pop music, brother.
You're not doing it again.
Yeah, right.
There's
You
way.
need it.
Come on, AQ's gonna kill somebody.
Shine to shine. A lot more fun.
We know the team. Why can't we show the team?
That's how we crown
Apple Music.
CFP National Champion.
This on Fiverr?
That's how we crown a CFP National
Nah, take me off.
Champion.
Take me off. You don't need a one shot on me.
Get a first
Come on.
5 to 8, host 9 to 12.
Wait, this does a little jingle.
Yeah. Finals, New Year's 6. That's a good idea. See?
Favorite team. Somebody new
Bursting on the scene.
So he's teaching a class?
Yeah. Start with 12, count down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion. See? Huh? Now you're starting to get it.
Where did this run? Where did we see this?
ESPN everywhere. You're going to see a lot of it.
Yep. Con.
Can't wait, man. My kids are gonna be singing this soon.
Bingo. Which is why at first you go, well, how is this?
What the hell?
How is this? Is this serious right here? That's your first reaction. Then you go, starting with 12, counting down to 1.
Who's the voice?
They break it down.
They do.
Yeah, they make it clear.
Bob Dylan.
4 bowl games in New Year's 6.
Wow.
On a rotating base.
A movie's coming out. Yeah, rotating base. I mean, they explained it all.
Yeah.
Cheer your favorite team.
Oh, more to shine?
Yeah.
Holy hell. That's how we
Bursting
crown
on
the
the scene.
CFP National Champion. You see the students in there? It was good to see.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody.
Huge football fans. They're all huge football fans.
That's what I'm saying. College football, very diverse. Obviously, everybody loves college ball. That is how it goes. It's, man. One more time.
Yeah,
One more time.
One more time.
One more.
Come on.
One more. Yeah, come on. It's about time. More teams come shine to shine. It's a lot more fun. Started with 12, counting down to 1.
Hey, for real though, you don't have to go through the whole thing. You know that.
CFP National Champion. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion. 1 through 4 get a first round bye. 5 to 8, host 9 to 12.
Winners move on.
And it all through 11. New Year's 6.
Bowls on a rotating basis. Could be your all-time favorite team. Or somebody new
Bursting on the scene.
Mixing things up.
It's about time. Hey, good, huh? That's great. Think about how many people had to prove this. Started with 12, counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion. Nailed it.
Now I get it. Now I understand the bracket. Now I get it.
Bingo. So not only is it an incredibly catchy banger, it's also incredibly informative. That's a win-win. And that's how you crown a
Tough to do both. Tough to be entertaining and informative. They knock them both out of the park.
They certainly did.
Fun and charming and
Yeah, it was great.
yeah.
Speaking of college football, there's a lot of stuff going on in that world right now. Let's head over to Hammer. Dahn. Noted American AP Tone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was not my helmet to make any decisions with, so that's where I stand on that issue.
All your excuses. Started at 12, counting down to 1. That's how we crown a CFP National Champion.
Incredibly informative and catchy. You nailed it right on the head, Pat. Now, Pete Thamel hasn't tweeted about it, but so it's not official. It's not Pete official, but Inside Carolina is reporting that UNC finalizing a deal to hire former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, which Brett McMurphy, then, who is a legit insider in this game, did put out and kind of stamped it. So it does feel like it's potentially done that Bill Belichick could be the next head coach at UNC.
Congratulations to UNC and to Bill Belichick, if that is the case. I do wonder what Pete would be waiting on, because the way this is kind of all unraveled is there was a moment where Bill Belichick accepted to become the UNC head coach, but it was under certain terms. So a lot of the newsbreakers saw accepted to become UNC head coach, but didn't follow up with there's a 400-page thing about how this is going to go if I am the head. I will be your head coach if it goes like this. He's probably had more meetings. He met with the trustees, I do believe it was being reported. And now if Inside Carolina and other newsbreakers close to the situation are saying it's true, that must mean that they've come to an agreement on how this is going to operate. And with everything he laid out on our show the other day, Bill Belichick's going to win.
Yep.
Congrats to Bill. Congrats to UNC.
Oh, yeah, Bill.
AJ, how do you feel about this Bill Belichick move back to UNC happening and everything that he said on our program the other day? How do you feel it actually ends up working out down there?
I mean, I think, Bill he's used to winning. He definitely knows what it takes. But I didn't really take it that serious until Bill came on Monday and kind of laid it out, and it sounded like, okay, this is, I'm sure, what it sounds like he tells them when he is interviewed. And you realize, like, yeah, this guy's serious. Like, he wants this job and has a whole plan on what he's going to do and how he's going to handle every situation. So hey, it's good for college football, isn't it? I think it's great.
I think so. I think it's good for football as a whole, too, especially what he's planning on doing there and how he's planning on raising those boys to men at UNC. Mm-hmm. He said a pipeline to the NFL, and also whenever football stops, they're going to act in a certain way and they're going to learn and everything like that. I think it's understood you're going into a Belichick campus, Belichick football, so he's going to have to get the right recruits in this entire thing. But to your point about not really taking it seriously, I guess we all should have known that he was going to be wildly researched on something that he's going into. Like, I think that's kind of Bill Belichick football. It always has been. I mean, whenever we were doing stuff with him for the draft, the amount of film he watched, the amount of hours he spent in there, everything he did, he would like to know everything about anything he's getting involved in. That is Bill Belichick football. That's why he lived at the office in New England. That's why the hours were what they were. That's why the success was what it was. But I think we all thought it was him trying to utilize it as leverage for an NFL team. We thought this was like a kind of a scream from the town crier saying, and by I don't mean him being the town crier, but just to the world saying, hey, I want to coach again. And I'll go coach in college. I think the other people say he'd coach in high school. He's going to coach again. And I thought it was all an angle to get an NFL team to quicker say, hey, we're interested in bringing you in. Don't do that. But then once he talks to us, it's like, oh, this guy has a full plan on how he's going to run this team. He's only 15 wins away, I think, from the all-time wins record at the NFL. I think we all thought this was not real. Even whenever he was explaining exactly how he would do what he would do, I'm like, there's no way the 400-page term sheet would be matched. Sounds like they got something done. I did not expect this.
Yeah, no chance in hell, I thought, once again, just like AJ until he came on Monday. But it is just, I mean, it's a different sport. Obviously, college football is becoming much more like pro football, but the group of humans that you're dealing with, like you're dealing with 17 to 21-year-olds as opposed to grown-ass men who still have a lot to learn as professionals, but now you're dealing with people who are becoming men under your watch. So obviously he's been around college campuses. He knows these players. He has coached these players. But that's just a completely different challenge. Just like with, the great Nick Saban. When he came up and dealt with professionals, it was just a different challenge, even though he had experience being, coaching in that league, being a head coach, running a program, running and recruiting. And, you can say you're going to delegate it and do it, but he's going to have final say over everything. So it will be a huge, huge challenge. Definitely going to bet on Bill Belichick, but I thought no chance in any world that Bill Belichick would be coaching anywhere besides the National Football League.
How do you think it works out for him?
I think the one thing that we're forgetting, I understand the business side of things is much more like the NFL, but the timeline's still the same. The recruiting periods are still the same. You still got a whole spring ball period. And then you got summer ball, right? Like those little breaks that you're used to having, that 6-week break before training camp, that break after the season before, obviously they have the combine and all that stuff, but that's just football stuff. You don't have to deal with any other people. You don't have to call parents. You don't have to talk to parents. You don't have to do any type of recruiting.
Think about in the summer, like they're multiple weekends in a row. You got to host recruits, whether you get position coaches, everybody comes. Like
right.
That happens all summer too at most places.
Correct, and it's all the camps. He's got to be present at all the camps all summer for all the big time recruits. The timeline is still college.
Good luck, Coach.
Go get him, Bill.
Good luck, Coach.
They got to be paying him
handsomely.
Yeah. Well, I assume that was a big part of it too. Is like from what we heard with the last coaching cycle when he was interviewing for jobs, like UNC is going to let him do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like, I have this 400-page thing, and it's going to be exactly like this, nuts and bolts. I don't want anyone else getting, interfering with it or trying to change stuff. And it kind of seemed like at this point in his life, that maybe wasn't the case anymore with an NFL job. Like maybe he wasn't going to be able to be the GM, be the head coach, and kind of have his fingerprints on everything, because that's kind of what, it started getting out. He's like, hey, he doesn't need to be the GM, but obviously when you do that for as long as he did, like, he wants to run everything.
Mac Brown, 73 years old, fired from North Carolina, probably into retirement. Congrats, hell of a run.
Boy, Mac.
Bill Belichick, 72, hired, first time being a college head coach, same place, North Carolina. Con man, does this hurt your heart a little bit? See Bill Belichick take another job,
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer because
he's a North Carolina boy. But, if he would have went to another NFL team, you would have had to go through seeing Tom in a different uniform. But instead, you'll just see Bill with a different visor or a different hat or a different sleeveless on, and it'll be a college one, not an NFL one. That does feel pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely a benefit. I didn't even think about that, so I am glad that I won't have to experience that bullshit. But it would have been nice to see him kind of become the all-time leader in wins as a head coach because he is so close to it. But it does feel like, even though, all the college stuff, all the timelines and things like that, like if you are a high school player, and granted, I never went through this, you guys probably have much better knowledge than this, but if your goal is to play in the NFL, which I assume most guys who are going to play big-time D1 college football are, and maybe, compete for a national championship too, but they might have a chance doing that playing in the ACC, like, wouldn't you want to go play for a guy that knows how to get to the NFL and be successful in the NFL versus some of the other schools? Because, like, Deion's whole thing is he has the blueprint, which, of course, he does. He was, all-pro, Super Bowl champion, everything, but, like, Bill also understands how, the NFL world, the NFL locker rooms work more than anybody. So wouldn't it be like a huge advantage for him? Like, hey,
yeah, but then there's there's different ways to go about doing things. Not everybody's a fit for everything. Everybody wants to go to the NFL, but I'm not sure everybody is fit to be in the NFL and Bill Belichick's system. So finding the right guys, not getting the wrong guys. Then what happens if he pitches these guys and nowadays and they don't play? And then they want to leave. I mean, it's just like, and just like in the NFL, whenever people would leave New England, they wouldn't make it through the waiver wire. They're getting signed because Bill Belichick thought this person was okay. They're going to be okay. So if anybody from North Carolina hits the transfer portal, everybody's going to probably want them. That's probably going to become a thing. It's just like there's a lot more to deal with. And I think Bill will figure it out. And the Rolodex of humans that he has at his disposal over the years, decades and decades of people he's worked with that can handle negotiations, that can handle director of player personnel stuff, that can handle scheme, strategy, all this type of shit. He's got those people in spades or whatever, But it's just like day to day, he does not know what he doesn't know yet about college ball.
Completely different.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know
Got
yet.
to deal with families now. Like, as a pro,
interactions.
A lot more players, too. A lot more players on the team.
Yeah, more players, more families.
What do you got, 105?
Handlers, like agents.
Shefty has tweeted a link to Thamel's story saying it is close. North Carolina is working to trying to close the deal with Bill Belichick to make the six-time Super Bowl champion. Well, he's won more than six.
6 is a head coach.
Yeah, head
coach. 6 is a head coach.
Yeah, come on.
2 is DC for the Giants. Super Bowl champion, the Tar Heels coach. But sources told ESPN there are still issues that both sides need to work through. More from Pete Thamel and
Chloe, ESPN.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I thought Drudel did okay.
He did. He crushed it.
I thought Drudel. I didn't see a lot of
it. Got good pipes, too. Great pipes.
Yeah, good commanding presence, too, in there. Drudel doing his thing. Went to Syracuse. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Who would have thought? That's Chris Lowe. And Chris Lowe on it.
Oh, yeah.
We know that. Still some things we're working through. Bill Belichick said, I told you that this is how this is going to happen. Look, page 296. Lombo, what was it? 290 what? 290, page 294. Look at it. Back on the bottom. Zoom in. Not that one, that one. Bang. Told you. This is how this is going to go. If you don't like it, I'm not coming. So it's up to you guys. We're close. We can certainly make this the reason that I'm not doing it. Or we can just kind of let that go. I'm excited to see who loved it from the beginning, who hated it from the beginning in North Carolina. Because it feels like there is, the way it's been talked about is there's some people that are really in, then there's some people that aren't, whose decision weighs more. That's like at West Virginia. Like I think Ren Baker is just making the decision, but I assume there is a group of people around him that have to okay it and approve it. It's like at North Carolina, who is in the decision-making process? North Carolina is working to try to close the deal with Bill Belichick to make the 6. Okay. Sources added that the ball is in Belichick's court and that North Carolina officials are on board with him becoming a coach. A resolution is expected in the near future. Among the looming issues are a potential role for his son and current Washington defense coordinator Stephen Belichick, North Carolina's NIL resources, Belichick's salary, and resources for the staff and reporting structure. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What's reporting structure?
Who reports to who? Who's boss?
Yeah, that's good though. Bill is smart and he knows you got to get that. You got to have that set up beforehand, so there's no questions later.
So that's an NFL mindset. That is very much like, hey, I've been here, done that. Who reports to who here? At the end of the day, when push comes to shove, who has 2 votes and who has 1 vote? I just need to know that. That's a massive thing. Resources for staff. That's coach's salary cap now. Like basically what you're going to be able to have. Belichick's salary, big. That's a big part. So they don't really have North Carolina's NIL resources. Like how do you just change that overnight? I don't know how you do that. And then Stephen Belichick's future, it had been reported. We don't know if it's real or not. We don't know what's real and whatever is not real. That Bill Belichick was willing to take a job at North Carolina as long as Steve was head coach in waiting, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like wanted to do the handoff, allegedly. Now, I don't know what's real and what isn't real. We should have asked Bill that question, although we would have not got an answer or whatever. He would have talked about structure and setup and the future of the organization and program and everything like that. But that could potentially be that. I mean, who knows?
Can you put that in a contract, though? I know they said Mayo was kind of set up for that, but let's say, what if he's not successful? Then all of a sudden his son takes over?
Yeah, so then you gotta fire 2 contracts then. You got to fire the current head coach and also the next head coach. Whenever you fire one coach, you got to fire the whole family. What's the buyout for both there? There's probably a lot of issues. If they're saying it's near, let's assume that some of those things have already been settled and they're just waiting on a couple things. But like who's reporting to who is that's a big deal to decide. And if they don't know that yet, that means there's probably still some opinions on who should be reporting to who. And that one right there is a lot of pride and ego from a lot of people trying to figure out. That could be difficult. All you need is one person to be like, nah, that's not how it's going to go here. This isn't the NFL. This is college still. This is my school. Well, Bill says it's my school.
It's my school now, actually.
It's my school when I come in there. I'm fascinated. Because this sets precedent now for a lot of places and how they're going to operate going forward.
I would assume, and obviously it's different, but the NIL stuff is probably a very difficult conversation too, because they're a blue blood basketball school. They're not just going to be like, oh, we got Bill Belichick, now all the resources and everything is going to go into the football program, because they compete for a national championship every single year. And I'm sure the athletic department and a lot of the boosters are like, hey, let's remember that the main thing here at North Carolina is still the main thing. Like, I bet that is a very contentious point of interaction.
Well, good luck to them down there. And also to West Virginia, who's allegedly going to have a coach announced soon. Allegedly.
Come on, just name him. Yeah. I mean, Pac-Man already named him. Let's do it. Rich Rod, let's do it.
I got to my phone. I had a bunch of people saying Pac-Man said it happened. I'm like, shit. Yeah. So I text Pac-Man. Who'd you talk to? Pac-Man. Pac-Man's plugged in.
Yeah.
You have no idea. And it's like what he was saying, here we go. And then he was also going forward, any DB that gets 2 picks in a game, I'll donate $100,000 to. I'm like, I love what Pac-Man said. I love it. This is what West Virginia's going to be. Yes. Let's do a lot of that. But I don't think, just like Pete had been waiting on a decision to be made where everybody else is reporting it's done, there's probably a lot of people, I don't know about the West Virginia situation because I don't know how many people are involved, but in North Carolina, there's probably a lot of people who are like, it's getting done. It's getting done. And then they are legitimate sources, and then they're saying it's getting done. Maybe that's the case in West Virginia, but maybe it goes the other. I have no idea. I would like a piece of information, though. I'd like it. I think a lot of people get antsy. Like, hey.
It's going to happen. It has to happen soon.
But I believe there was a projected Wednesday of next week was a projected time frame. This week, like last week, I think there was like a projected middle of week, I think is what was said, because of bowl and also transfer report. And there's a lot of stuff happening, I think, in the next day or two for the West Virginia football team. So I think this has been the eyeball date. So hopefully we'll.
Is the portal open right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's open.
Somebody also just got named Conference USA Coach of the Year.
Who?
Coach is Jacksonville State.
Oh. Rich Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
He's a conference coach of the year?
Yes, sir.
Way to go, coach.
Shout out Rod.
Guy can still coach.
Yeah.
Modern athlete, he can coach. Modern era, he can coach. He can go to a place 2 years, win, be coach of the year. That guy's got some business to clean up, doesn't he?
I think so.
He's got a story to finish.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Doesn't he?
He does.
Could you imagine that story? It could be. I think it could be. That'd be so fucking cool if that happened. It would clear my conscience a lot if they went back and won. That'd be great. Hey, how can I help? Let's go ahead and get this thing off of my shoulders. How can I get this off my conscience so I don't think about it every single day for the rest of my life, aren't you? And he's like, probably thinking the same exact thing. Hey, how can we get this because of what happened? That's quite a motivator for people, especially with a competitive drive to their hometown, home state. I mean, that'd be beautiful. Doesn't need it, obviously. He doesn't have the job. I don't think it's been named. Well, it would be a hell of a story in sports if he goes back there. Fucking rich.
Whenever it's official, Pac's got to put another video out too.
I love it. Pac, if he's just going to keep offering up stuff. Guy has a 150-yard touchdown. Yeah, I'll throw in 10 grand. Mm-hmm. Just like bounties for everything. I mean, if that's what it's going to happen.
That'd be sweet.
I'm okay with it. I don't know how it fits into the NIL shit, but do it. It's West Virginia is waiting to be great again, and it's only a matter of time. Speaking of great, let's look at some offensive lines that performed great in Week 14 of the NFL season. Every week I look forward to this because this is basically an indicator of what teams are good and what teams are not. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go in the trenches with AQ Shipley for the top 5 performing offensive lines from Week 14.
Here we go, boys. Here we go.
AQ, I'm excited for these because, like I just said, we've been able to learn who's good and who's not strictly from this particular segment. Let's go in the trenches. Who do you got at 5?
The Detroit Lions.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Hey. Top 5.
Listen,
five.
I was gonna. They were kind of right there, and then they had to be in it because of what they did on the last play. But let's take a look at this. We got just your standard wham play. Just a standard wham play. Right there. Almost gets up the field. Gets enough of them. And look at all the butts. You see all the butts? We find the butts. We get outside and get a quick. Let's watch that one more time.
Wow.
Because I think I might have saw something there.
Really? That you hadn't seen before.
This might be the old triple trap double scoop. The old triple trap double scoop.
Triple trap double scoop. Triple trap double scoop.
2 scoops, please.
2 scoops. Triple trap. There it is. 3 guys going that way. 2 guys going that way.
Yeah, so
triple double.
Here's the triple here.
The old baldy triple trap double scoop right here.
Okay, so we got bang, bang, bang. There's the triple trap.
There it is. Bang, bang, bang. We're all trapping this way. And then you get Ragnow and Big Skip up on the backers. There's the double scoop. Triple trap, double scoop.
Okay, triple trap, double scoop.
Just a standard wham, though. Just a standard wham. That's all it is.
Old school triple trap, double scoop, wham for the Lions.
Yeah.
Who are whamming home wins, aren't they?
They sure love it.
They've been whamming all year.
ways.
Congratulations to the triple trap, double scoop Detroit football Lions playing old school physical football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, MC loves that. Triple trap, 2 scoops of what, man? Espresso ice cream, man. Look at the double scoop here by big boy Skip. Ragnow. Look at the scoops. It's like 2 big coffee scoops, man. Douche. How much coffee do you think a year that guy goes through?
Very unhealthy amount, I would assume.
What? Is there any such thing? I thought you could just.
I don't think just drinking like 15 shots of espresso every single day and then probably double that on game days. I don't know if that long term is good for your heart.
I mean, have we learned anything? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it might be better for your heart.
He's got a huge heart. He's fine.
Yeah, he does got
That's
a
not a
big
good
old heart.
thing. That's not a good thing either.
What's that?
Having like a big heart, like that's not good.
Really?
Yeah, that's how.
Not literally, figuratively.
Oh, yeah.
Figuratively, sure.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like if you have like a massive heart, like,
You don't want an enlarged heart.
exactly. That's how like you're gonna die from like heart failure.
No, enlarged is like when your heart is normally a size and then it's enlarged. You're saying just in general, if you have a larger heart size, not good.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing.
Bad news for the Grinch.
Well, his was so small
At the beginning, yeah, he was super healthy. By the end there, he did look a little bit fatter and
He had the roast beast.
Wow. That's the animated one's great for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
The Jim Carrey Grinch is the best Grinch.
Legend.
I mean, we are in this season right now. That is the best one.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody touches Scott Calvin, as Santa Claus.
Sure.
I think that is a phenomenal Christmas movie. We're in that time right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How close?
Red one. Red one.
Boom. Red one. Thank you.
a good
New
one.
Christmas classic.
Good Santa too.
Elf. Have to say it. I love Elf.
4 Christmases.
Fred Claus.
Turbo Man.
Bad Santa's pretty good.
Bad Santa.
Home Alone, of course.
Home Alone, Home Alone
Classic.
2.
Lost in New York. Yep.
Classic.
Die Hard.
Is
Turbo Man.
Harry Potter.
talks about
Somebody said
Jingle
that.
All the Way. Jingle All the Way.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's not Christmas, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I didn't know.
No,
It is.
not
Not
Harry
Harry
Potter.
They have
I'm-
Harry.
I
I don't
Christmas
think Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter.
is a Christmas movie.
Listen,
is.
you guys doing that, knowing that I've never seen it, and then just being so confidently and saying, "Yeah, it's a Christmas movie."
And on ABC Family, they play it every single year.
What on Christmas time?
On 25 Days of Christmas, yeah.
What's the Hallmark
No,
channel?
no way.
Don't they run 24/7 Christmas movies? I think there's a channel that runs 24/7 Christmas movies.
Freeform during December.
Yeah.
I
There it
believe.
is,
Freeform.
Freeform.
Yeah.
There it is, not Hallmark, Freeform. I don't think I've seen Harry Potter on there. I don't think I've ever
Well,
seen.
they don't play the best movies on Freeform.
So you're just playing any movie during the holiday season?
They celebrate Christmas in damn near all the Harry Potter. So I'm just telling you that they are considered Christmas movies.
What's that other one that isn't considered a Christmas movie, but everybody said it's
Die Hard. That's
Die
the
Hard.
one D-Butt said.
It
That's
is
like
a
the
Christmas
debate.
movie?
Debate.
Happens on Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
It was released in July, so a
it's a
lot of
good
people
movie.
say it's not a Christmas movie.
Christmas party.
Christmas in July.
Top Gun 2.
Yeah, Christmas party.
Famous saying.
There's a lot of good Christmas movies.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
Hammer, Dahn, resident AP Tone. He told me yesterday, he said, "Hey, Christmas shopping coming up on us here. Coming up on us here."
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it.
we got 2 weeks.
Let's remember that.
And let's mention Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I don't know if I heard those or not.
It was mentioned.
Yep.
We did.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie as well.
What about Harry Potter?
I've never seen Harry Potter.
Me neither. I've heard it's a good movie, though.
It's great.
Movies.
A lot of them.
Yes.
All of them are
Great
great.
series.
How many?
But if Christmas happens in the movie, then yeah, it's a Christmas movie.
Agreed. I think the same exact way. Happy movie time.
You should watch them.
Red one I have. I've seen Red.
Potter.
That's coming to Prime already.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
I'll get to experience
No,
it
it's
at
not.
home, and I'll get a chance to experience it at the IMAX like I did a few weeks ago. It's a good one. I mean, that's the thing The Rock signing up, it's going to be a smash. And Moana 2 was great. He was dominating the box office.
Sure.
And that's what The Rock
Have you
does.
seen it? Moana 2?
Oh, so good. Have you?
No.
So good. It's unbelievable. You should hear the new songs.
I thought you were going Thanksgiving Day. Speaking of, wait,
Bailed on it.
how did you lose your pickleball tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What round?
Lost in the finals.
Your rating drop?
What's
No,
the score?
stayed.
Did you watch
The
the
old
Penn
duper.
State game?
I did.
When?
I watched it, and I was in front of TVs all night. I looked good though that night. You see that little sport coat I had on? It looked good.
Went to some big event,
Yeah,
some
he
high
was,
society
he wasn't
function.
sitting there
Fancy.
watching the game.
He was
Watched it all.
He was invited to come watch the Penn State Nittany Lions right behind a crane, right next to the field. Says, "No, I can't do that. Sorry." And I FaceTime him as we're walking in, and I go, "Oh, oh, 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 oh,
Wait for it.
Oregon
Yeah, that's what he did.
Ducks."
That's exactly what he
So I
did.
did him. He goes, "Why are you doing that?"
I go, "What's your
and I
problem?"
see he's out in public. He's walking into a function. He's got a sport coat on, dress shirt. I'm like, "Are you even?" Hold the phone.
I had my Penn State hoodie and hat ready because I thought Cuse was coming.
Yeah, and then I see all the pictures, and the boys are all wearing green and yellow. It's
Oh,
fucking
you weren't
bullshit.
there. I was
All
hoping to be on
green-
your team.
Were you wearing
didn't
green and
show
yellow
up.
too?
I had my Oregon Duck shoes on.
Ty's an Iowa fan. He's got green, yellow Oregon hat on.
Hey, we love the Ducks
I was
around
gonna
here.
say it.
Gumpy's all Oregon. Con man, I thought was, but I was corrected. It wasn't an Oregon hat.
Thank you.
So I
Yeah, but
appreciate
he's
that.
not. He's not on Penn State's side either.
I mean, Nick's Instagram post said
Absolutely
"fuck
not.
Penn State" or something like that. I'm like, Jesus,
that was a little strong.
it was real strong.
Yeah, I went to Pitt in West Virginia. Fuck Penn State.
Oh,
okay. I like that. The Staters were loud though.
They were.
Staters were
They're
loud.
always loud.
They made it very good atmosphere.
They did, yeah.
For the
So
record.
we thank the Penn State people for making that awesome. That was a great
Love it.
environment because of the Penn State people. Now, very far trip for Oregon. 25%, I'd say, about 75% Penn Staters. It was loud out there. And I'm a Penn State fan. I like the way you guys do your thing. I like the team. The boys, though, turned on James Franklin, not known as Burger.
That was it. That was the whole.
That was a
thing.
big part
Without
of
a
it.
doubt.
I get it.
That and they don't beat good teams ever.
Yeah, and
I
the
get
thing
that
after,
too.
What's your name, boy? I didn't love that either.
It's also why I went to the event instead of coming here because I thought it was about to be 35-7.
Jeez, this is how
This
Penn
guy's
State
a
people
deal, man.
Wow.
But they proved me wrong.
Yes, they did.
They played their ass off.
And going into the playoffs, you guys
Feeling good. Good path. Everything.
There's no such thing as a good path.
6 is the spot, boys. All right. It's the spot.
No, what are you talking about? You got a tough road. Everybody's got a tough road. SMU, real deal.
Yep.
Brett Lashley, head coach of the SMU Mustangs, will actually be joining us on Friday, I believe.
Nice.
To chit-chat about everybody saying this easy road, huh? This
That
SMU
six is a
team.
good spot.
And in Boise, what do you mean?
It's a good spot.
What do you mean it's a good spot?
Shit, that's a good spot. AQ.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I think so, too.
You got a good shot.
Whoa. You guys haven't seen Ashton Genty and his Boise State team play ball?
Tough.
They took Oregon to the 12th round earlier in the year. Now, that might have been before Dylan Gabriel had it all figured out and that Oregon team was who they are. But at any given game, any team that is
Couldn't agree more.
could win this week.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's
I
college ball.
Feel a lot better against those two than say that 8-9 or that 5 team.
I mean, Georgia.
Even the 7-10.
The look-ahead line has Penn State as an 11.5
One,
point favorite against Boise if they win.
What are they favored against SMU?
They are favored by 8.5.
8.5 and then 11.5?
Yep.
If Carson backs
I feel
out.
good about that, right?
I mean,
You have an 8.5 point spread in an NFL game. We're on to the next week, boys.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Especially that is the problem for you guys. You're going to look ahead too much.
No,
This SMU
1-0 mentality. You hear James every week.
I appreciate the way James talked about that press conference in the afterwards where the Oregon band is playing behind him. He goes, I respect them celebrating. It's kind of a JV setup. Kind of a JV. When was the last time Penn State was at the Big Ten Championship?
17, 16. It was Wisconsin.
So he had forgotten
Saquon.
what Lucas Oil Stadium's kind of set up like. But I appreciate him going, it's a JV setup. And some of his players laughing. They have a chance. Anybody has a chance.
They do.
That Oregon team has been the most consistent. And obviously, I thought the same thing that you thought about that particular game. I thought they were going to do it. Penn State held their own. Arizona State with Scatterboo. I mean, he can run through anybody.
Yep. Yeah.
And if they get hot and they keep the other team off the field, I mean, there's a chance. Clemson with Dabo, anytime, anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I know to win it all, you got to beat anybody, be ready to play anybody. But how pissed would you be if you're Oregon?
Oregon has not really been allowed to come out and say that, hey, the way this has been set up is certainly interesting because the way they want the number 1 seed there is they want them to get a definite low seed.
Mm-hmm.
The 5-12, they wanted the 4 to have to take on the highest ranked non-champion, but if 12 wins that, then 4 takes on 12.
Mm-hmm.
And 12 gets, the highest non-champ and then also the lowest ranked champ. Yeah, 5 was the spot that we thought everybody was going to want to be in. Like we thought that was going to be because you get the lowest ranked in the whole tournament, and then you get the lowest ranked champion that got a bye. But instead, it does feel like 6 kind of shaped out to be a pretty good spot as well because you get a home field advantage. But Oregon, they wanted them to definitely get the lower seed, right? Because all those other games, 6 can win, 7 can win, 5 can win. So technically off the rankings, 8 or 9 guarantees a lower seed for the number 1 overall team. So in theory, I understand why they did it, but I don't think that's how a lot of people are looking at it.
You got to reseed them after the first round, in my opinion. Going forward, I think that should be in the conversation.
So the number 1 gets an actual advantage.
They get the lowest of the remaining. And maybe everybody's just you're reseeded. Whoever's left, what is it, 8 left? Like, you just reseed them 1 to 8?
Maybe, but I don't think that's been said at all.
5 to 8.
But you're saying they should for next year.
For sure.
There's some changes they need to make, I think, going forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Let's see how it plays out, though. All those games could be blowouts. All those games could be close. All the underdogs could win. That sounds like a perfect tourney to me.
I agree.
All right, let's get back to top 5 performing offensive lines. If you do recall, number 5 offensive line from Week 14 was the Lions. Then we saw the triple trap double scoop. And that was quite a wham for the Lions. Let's go to number 4 ranked offensive line coming out of Week 14.
You got the L.A. Rams.
Wow, congrats to the Rams.
LA
They're coming
Rams.
on. They're coming on.
First of all, I can't say enough about these backs because they were chipping the shit out of Buffalo's DNs all game, putting them on the ground. There was a couple times where DNs were grabbing the ribs, running off the sideline. But this is a cool way to get the duo, single back duo. Tight end comes across. They start him over there to get the front that they want. They send him over, kick out, and then downhill you get the double team, and we get him downhill. And they just chipped away. They didn't have any huge runs, but it was 7, 7, 6, 5, 7, 11, 9, 6. Like, it was just – there was no 25 or 30-yard Saquon runs, but it was chipping away with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, right? Both of them. So they're literally 1-2, 50 yards, 60 yards, 110 yards total. It was awesome stuff.
Good work on that. How about the
Almost
Rams coming back live? Yeah, I saw you kind of shut down there mid.
I came back.
Almost a glitch there, but we're happy you bounced back. That's Penn State football.
That's it.
That's Penn State football. The Rams kind of floated their way in. Last year, their big problem was their offensive line, right?
Well, it still kind of was at the beginning of the year, but because it was at the beginning of the year, they had a bunch of injuries early. Young guys play, right? When young guys play, they get experience. What happens when you get experience? You get better, right? So these guys all have gotten better and better and better and better and better. They made the big trade or big free agent signing from the kid from Jonah Jackson from the Lions, and he's on the bench right now because they like what the young guys are doing.
Okay, if your offensive line plays good, you can win any game. Let's go to the number 3 performing offensive line from Week 14.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, they looked awesome. They are running the shit out of the ball. They got 3 backs. They were without Irving, and you still get 2 other backs in the backfield, faking one way, pulling the center, pulling Tristan Wirfs around, get Barton around on the first guy. Nobody wants anything of Tristan Wirfs. He just kind of takes the easy way out, and you get Tucker down the sidelines for a 50-yard gain. I mean, these guys are doing very, very good things. They continue to be a big reason why. Their record should be better based on statistics, seriously, because at the end of the day, they're in the top 5 in third down conversion. They're in the top 5 in rushing yards. They're in the top 5 in rushing yard average. So they got all the makings to be great. They're just losing some games on defense. They're losing some games with some different things.
Why doesn't that guy take on Tristan Wirfs?
Wants no part of it.
What are we doing? What's going on, AJ?
He needs to be able to cut his legs out. That's it. I mean, look at this. That's a death wish right there. You want to take on Tristan Wirfs when he has a 12-yard running start?
I mean, he's just eyeballing you, too. He knows who you are. He knows you know who he is.
I mean, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Ooh.
I mean, that's it. And it just runs through the inside.
He tried to take him out. Tried to duck under and get his leg, which he did, kind of.
He didn't try.
He didn't try.
That's a big decision.
That was in 4K. That was his best try right there.
All right, let's go to the number 2 ranked offensive line out of Week 14.
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
And this could be a case of just the Cardinals going back to Swiss cheese defense. But
whoa.
Swiss cheese.
You said this yesterday on the show. Remember, we were FaceTime with him, and he was like, these guys in the end zone are crop.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I was literally watching the film like, God, they went back to Week 1, Week 2, Week 3. But here, before we even get this, so they're going to run counter to, as we're looking at, to the right, to their left. So their right guard, right tackle, we're going to pull. But here's the deal. You see number 2 standing out here, right? Somebody's got to fill that gap. So the guy on the inside shoulder, the tackle to our right, if we can circle him.
7.
No, in front of 7. See the guy on defensive tackle right there. He's going to loop out. When he loops out, he becomes the edge. When he becomes the edge, guess what's coming? The pulling guard. Let's just watch that one. As soon as he loops out, he's going to loop out. Tackle does a nice job leaving him because he knows the puller's coming. And as soon as he loops out, I got to take the edge. Oh, shit. Now I turn. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Bang. Pow.
And then we're downhill for 51 yards and a touchdown for Charbonnet without Kenneth Walker.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, he did set the edge.
He did set the edge.
He was out there.
He made him cut back, though. Made him cut inside.
Here's another thing that they do on defense, what they've been doing a lot. See, go back just a little bit further, right? They start with Budda Baker as a 2-high safety, and then they try and insert him as the weak side linebacker. And a lot of times Budda can make the play because he's that good. Budda's a dog. But if he gets too far on the weak side and they're running something the other way, and then you got nothing slowing it down, forcing it back.
A lot of daylight.
Now, that guy who normally is your fix-it-all player, Budda Baker, he's out of the picture.
God, Seattle Seahawks are the real deal. We can't say it enough. All right, who's the number 1 performing offensive line coming out of Week 14?
Who do you think? The Philadelphia Eagles.
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
On the road to victory.
Bye, Eagles. All right, check it out.
Bye? Why are you saying bye? We want to say hi to the Eagles.
Done with the Eagles?
No, these guys are awesome. They're awesome. Their offensive line's the best in the league, hands down right now. Once Decker gets back, hopefully the Lions can get back on track. But if you can put eyes, right? Can you do the little green eye thing you just did with Jalen Hurts on this far left defensive end? Right there. Yep. Ooh. He is looking at him, right? So now we're going to pull Lane Johnson and Becton over here. He's just staring at him. See where his eyes are? And if 92 closes it all, we're just going to hand it to Saquon. We're just going to hand it to him. There it is. He just took himself out of the play. Now we're around the corner for an easy 25, 30-yard game.
Jeez, and that's all because you got to account for Jalen, right?
That's all it is.
Everybody's talking about Jalen's armor this week. Jalen's legs are certainly something that need to be respected. I love that they're running towards you're pulling these things out of here. Such distraction all the goddamn time, seemingly.
This has become their bread and butter. They run this all the time now. I showed it a couple weeks ago where they do it this way. Now if 92 goes up the field, guess what happens? Jalen keeps it, gets behind the two big boys pulling. You get Becton on the kick out here, and you get Lane Johnson filling up on the linebacker, and then Jalen Hurts is down this hash now for 30, 40 yards untouched on the safety. That's
but instead, no edge.
No chance.
Bingo.
First down.
Saquon Barkley. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. What a phenomenal year they have had. And
I think this is 5 in a row.
Wow.
5 in a row at number 1.
So you in the NFC West, you got 2 teams out there. Who do you think ends up making it? Who has the better offensive line, Seahawks or Rams?
So the Seahawks are not typically a very good offensive line. They just played their ass off this week.
Okay, so maybe it's the turn of the tide.
Yeah, I think the Rams are better up front. I think the Rams are better, and I think the quarterback play is better. Matthew Stafford is on fire.
Yeah, he's phenomenal to watch play football.
Yeah,
spins it.
But I've been saying all year that I'm going to watch this, and this is going to be the teams that are going to be good. So he says Rams over Seahawks right now.
No doubt.
But he doesn't know what this Seahawks offensive line is about to look like going forward, does he?
Look out tomorrow.
Look out.
I mean, their fucking center retired in the 7th game of the year this year.
That was a tough game.
And they bounced back.
And they bounced back.
And they bounced back. Look at them now.
Look at them now.
Number 2 offensive line
Look at
in the
them
entire damn league.
So,
their left tackle, Charles Cross, is a dog. I will say that.
All right, well, we appreciate the hell out of you for going through that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Everything DB. Good D, bad D.
Yes,
D-Butch, make us smarter, shall you?
Let's go. Let's go to B-Flow's defense, leading the National Football League in interceptions right now. Got 2 against Kirk Cousins last week. This is Josh Metellus, just getting back to his drop, playing good. We always talk about underneath zone coverage, but this is a great example of that. You see him drop back, keep his eyes on the quarterback. That's what you want to do as a zone defender. Dan O talked about Kirk not really moving off his spot once he gets to the top of that drop. He does a great job just keeping his eyes back there. It's almost like he has eyes on the back of his head, because if you look at the receiver behind him trying to run and get open to a window, he just continues to move, stay in that window, and then makes a play. I mean, Kirk pumps it and throws it right to him, but eyes, he feels it, boom. Great job breaking on intentions, as AJ Hawk says all the time. You see it right here, better look at it.
Hey, D-Butt, he did a great play. Usually you naturally roll back in with that and you go inside towards the hash.
Yep.
And he it's like he has a great feel for it. You see him as he breaks it out. Normally you're still just going to float inside towards the hash because you think the ball's going there.
Yeah. So great job being underneath. You only have 2 receivers really over there to that side of the field. Just great job all around from beginning to end, keeping his eyes back. You'll see him drop, feel it, boom. And for Kirk, I mean, you got a decent pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe tuck, run it, throw it away. You can't just throw it right.
He's in the middle of a bit of a run.
What the hell's he doing?
He's in the middle of a bit of a run.
Pretzel.
All right, let's go to the next one, shall we?
Man, another one. The second one.
2.
Vikings D.
Hey, Vikings D. This is why they lead the National Football League. Sometimes pressure is your best coverage. They bring a ton of pressure here. Drop some of the big boys out. Harrison Smith becomes a clean hitter off the right side. But if you look up top, Ray McLeod, 34, he's wide ass open as a flat defender, but once again, when that pressure's getting on you, makes a terrible throw here once again. Over the top of Kyle Pitts. If you lead Kyle Pitts to the inside, I think it's a catch with that big body, big frame. He overthrows it. I talk about tips and overthrows all the time. This is Byron Murphy's 6th interception this year, only behind Kirby Joseph and Xavier McKinney for the lead. He's been on everything to be a couple times. Great ball skills. Great one-hand catch right here. Momentum takes him into the end zone, so he ends up taking a knee here and taking the touchback.
Okay, so there is a rule of momentum. If your momentum carries you into the end zone,
correct,
you could take a knee without it being a safety.
Exactly. So if he would have caught this 3-yard line, 2-yard line, kind of stopped, made a move, and then circled back into the end zone, now it becomes a safety. But and the referees, I feel like, are pretty lenient with that, but it is a judgment call, and it clearly, I think, carries him into the end zone with a sweet snag, though.
I think so, too, because he's bobbling, too, because he had to stride out. Great catch, great snag, great pick. Tough week for Kirk Cousins. Let's go to the next one.
Tough week, Kirk. CJGJ.
4 weeks, actually. 8 picks, no touchdowns.
Tough month.
Tough month. Hey, roll it. Bury the ball.
It's going to happen.
Bury the ball.
So here, to start the 2-minute warning. It's been a great 6, 7, however many weeks since Cooper DeJean has been thrown into that slot for this pass defense. I want to round up to the beginning, please. Something critical right here, especially when you're playing nickel and you have to communicate to your outside corners, to your safeties, when you get these bunch formations. I always talk about verbal and nonverbal communication. If you just watch the nickelback and Darius Slay out here communicating on who we have once this motion from Thielen happens. Once it happens and then after it happens, you'll see Cooper, I'm sure they're talking, but you'll see DeJean point like, hey, that's my guy. So if I'm the guy behind him, I can see it even if I don't hear him. If I'm Slay, I can see it even if I don't hear him. They're home, so obviously their crowd is making some noise right here. Verbal and nonverbal communication is very, very key here. He ends up getting in very good position to make Bryce Young throw this ball over the top, and CJ GJ does his job getting out of that post, once again breaking on intentions. He is the only zone defender on the field when you have man-to-man cover, one coverage. Great job keying the quarterback, and once he breaks that egg to throw the ball, great job reading eyes. You hear people say getting off the hash all the time. Great job getting off the hash once again. An overthrow that great coverage typically causes, and then securing the ball with good ball skills along that sideline.
The exciting whites are the real deal over there, huh?
Real deal, real deal. Reed isn't having as good a year as Cooper is, but Cooper has been, you could tell, like, well coached. You know, you can watch guys, especially rookies, like based on you can't hear, but I can just see that he's communicating. He's always trying to get a reroute. We saw the physicality when he came up and hit Derrick Henry, but you can't make that hit unless you have a great read and a great break to get in that position to where 22 can't even square his shoulders before you hit him. So Vic Fangio's doing a great job of that defense all around. Zach Bond is probably, honestly, if he was a bigger name, a first-round pick, he'd probably be in Defensive Player of the Year type conversation.
I love anytime CJ GJ's making plays, too.
Yeah, he's
Love that. Okay, let's go to the next one, shall we?
Yes, sir. Kobe Bryant. He's been making plays as well. Been on here a few times. Now, cover 3. We all know cover 3, you have the 3 deep guys, corner, free safety, corner, and outside. But when you're that slot defender, and you get these stacked formations, it's always kind of a gray area on, are we carrying that number 2 receiver, the final number 2 receiver? Am I relating to him when he runs to the flat? Because they have kind of like a speed motion. They snap, he goes to the flat. So it's a little confusion here, and they actually have the seam route running wide ass open. So Kyler, he makes the throw. As that deep post defender, this is your job to clean it up. You are the deep guy. You're the only guy with vision on the quarterback in this position. Coming, getting off the hash, getting out of the middle of the field, and making a great play on the ball. Once again, pressure, I think, caused, this throw not to be perfect as well. Kyler, especially this year, 9 times out of 10, he's making this throw. But as a DB, when you get a chance, you got to catch the ones they throw to you. Kobe Bryant has been taking advantage of his opportunity. See how? Hey,
what, AQ? What is that face? You see?
It was a bad throw. It wasn't a great throw. It was space there, but it was a great play.
I think
by
he was
Kobe
mad.
Bryant.
He just called that pressure. I think that's probably
no. I mean, I'm mad at that throw. Like typically when you see those guys like step up there, a big play's coming.
Yeah. So
I mean, and he was open.
So pressure sometimes, you feel it. When they played these guys, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, Seattle sacked them 5 times. And Seattle's gotten healthy up front. They've been beating the shit out of Kyler and guys they've been playing. So sometimes pressure, it may not be on this play, but that shit, it stats up, it adds up. And great job on the back end getting off and then finishing that play.
Well, and also that is a situation where Kyler wants play to develop and make play as opposed to just being Kyler Murray. So as that continues to evolve, like Kyler is special.
Yeah.
He's special with the ball in his hands. And I think he waiting for the shot, as opposed to maybe taking one. Once again.
Or just throwing it earlier.
Let him run into that thing.
There. Throw it
as soon
earlier.
as he took the first hitch, ball.
Yeah, put it on the line. Maybe he didn't see it.
That's
an old lineman. That's an old lineman. Get the ball out.
Stop jerking the ball off back there. That's what every O-line.
Get the ball out, Chief.
Let's go to some bad defense. Maybe even historically.
We only have one inductee currently.
Into the bad D Hall of Fame?
Stevenson, who's bad D Hall of Fame.
He's going?
And, once again, cover 3, when you have a 3 deep, it's that number 2. You get a motion, you get a stack. What are we going to do with this seam route, this number 2 receiver? And it ends up being Justin Jefferson here. If you pause it, a couple more frames, boom. I don't know what the confusion is, but as that curl flat, seam flat, whatever defender, either you have to carry number 2 down the field vertical all the way down the field, or that cornerback on the outside, if it's a true zone coverage, zone drop, He has to carry the deepest. There's obviously confusion here, not on the same page. The cornerback stays with number 1. Nobody carries one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. He throws his hand up. And
oh no!
And the DB, I don't know if he got blinded by the light. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and then
but
Justin
boy,
Jefferson's backwards in.
That's bad ball. So you got to have obviously awareness of the coverage, how we're covering it, and then it comes down to who we're covering. But you see him right here. Oh shit! Lost in the sauce. That's bad. That's.
And he knows in the moment.
That's bad.
Yeah, he knows.
In that moment, he knows. That's all time bad. That got to be the second inductee in the Bad D Hall of Fame.
Sorry, you're going to get better. You're a Hall of Famer for bad. There's nowhere to go but up. Right. Good for you. Thank you, boys. Thank you, DB.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. We can't thank you enough for announcing winners from this past week. I believe tomorrow, because we didn't get all the picks in time, so it'll be Winner Thursday tomorrow. We'll do a giveaway then. We can't thank you enough for joining us. DB, great work this week.
You too, brother.
AQ, thank you for traveling out. Boys in the back, phenomenal job. Now, let's finish strong with a great Thursday and a Friday. Week 15 of the NFL season kicks off tomorrow with an NFC West clash. That's AJ Hawk. I'm Pat McAfee. West Virginia's making a decision. Let's pay attention to that. And let's remember that they're going. Mm-hmm. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Never forget it. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.